say. Yeah, I'ma do shit my way. So you can go kick rocks, I'ma stack bricks up, build what I want to make.
Yo, I got a lot of shit to say, so I'ma do this every day. I'll be writing things until I'm fucking buried in my grave.
Family, as she defends the Trump organization's practice. She has said that the company's practices did not amount to a conspiracy, but were simply doing business. And that's the latest over there. So, you know, I don't know why there's not cameras.
Good morning.
There. This is ridiculous. We should see some cameras, man. But all right. So what else is happening out there? Now, let's do a refresh on the presidential schedule and see what he's up to, because there is some activity on the docket today, and looks like we got a Korean briefing that is coming up. So that should be interesting. Actually, probably like any minute now. Let's see. So the president receives the daily briefing. Vice president attends that. Korean is coming out. So we'll hear from her at some point. President delivers the remarks. Celebrate the Americans with Disabilities Act. VP and the first man attend. And then the president convenes his cabinet to get an update on the progress we're making on pressing priorities the country is trying to do, including implementing the historic legislation that he signed into law, balancing the promise and the peril of artificial intelligence. What kind of a stupid statement is this? And taking action on gun violence. The vice president participates. Man, she's always around a lot now. Almost like they're trying to get her prepped for something again. So he convenes his cabinet. So he's like, hey, the country's not doing good. All right. So get everybody together. I want to hear from all my department heads. Drag them in here.
Yeah.
And then what are they going to do? Joe Biden can't think or talk or speak or walk.
He needs to talk to me, or if he needs an email from me or something
really
like
get
that.
any
So let him know.
progress from a meeting like that. But C-SPAN, let's see what they've got. So we do have a Korean sighting, and so she'll be coming up at some point.
There you are.
Oh, Matt Gaetz is addressing the House right now, and there is a little bit of a battle on this. Let's see what he's talking about.
Certainly on something as consequential as Ukraine. So for all the crocodile tears about what may happen later this week about a motion to vacate, working with the Democrats is a yellow brick road that has been paved by Speaker McCarthy, whether it was the debt limit deal, the CR, or now the secret deal on Ukraine. Third, this is swampy log rolling. The American people deserve single subject bills. I get that a lot of folks might disagree with my perspectives on the border or on Ukraine, but can we at least agree that no matter how you feel about Ukraine or the southern border, they each deserve the dignity of their own consideration and should not be rolled together where they might pass where each individually wouldn't? This is what we're trying to get away from. This is the spirit of the January agreement we made with the speaker. No more lashing these disparate issues together so that the American people's interests are subjugated here on the floor of the House. You know how we should stand up for our border? Demand that the United States Senate take up our single subject appropriation bill that funded the border. It created Republican unity. We voted for it. It has the policy demands that the continuing resolution that Speaker McCarthy advocated for on this floor did not. Our DHS funding bill requires E-Verify. And then hours later, after we passed that, the speaker wanted us to vote for a continuing resolution that didn't include E-Verify. Retreat is never a strategy to win anything. So, Mr. Speaker, just tell us, what was in the secret Ukraine side deal?
Yes.
What commitments were made to President Biden to continue the spending of President Biden in exchange for doing things for President Biden?
That's what I want to know.
It is becoming increasingly clear who the Speaker of the House already works for, and it's not the Republican conference. Mr. Speaker, I would ask that these questions be answered soon, because there may be other votes coming today or later this week that could be implicated by the answers to these questions. Members of the Republican Party might vote differently on a motion to vacate if they heard what the speaker had to share with us about his secret side deal with Joe Biden on Ukraine.
That's what I want to know.
I'll be listening. Stay tuned.
All right, Matt Gaetz.
The gentleman yields back. Now, members are reminded to refrain from engaging in personalities towards the president and to direct their remarks to the chair. The chair now recognizes a gentlewoman from Iowa, Miss Miller Meeks, for 5 minutes.
All right, so that's interesting. Now, I've been watching this little brouhaha between McCarthy and Gaetz, and I've been curious, look, I understand both sides. I really do. I understand Matt Gaetz, and I understand wanting to win and accomplish policy victories. And I understand McCarthy trying to thread the needle and kind of balance the very small majority that the Republicans have, and how things can become squirrely pretty quickly. But I was trying to think about this in my head. I'm like, all right, Rob, what's the McCarthy red line? Like, what, at some point, like, all right, I know, look, the government, in my opinion, is always going to spend. Okay. They're going to spend. And as much as I like Gaetz's enthusiasm, I think might be, kind of trying to accomplish something that is impossible to accomplish, even though I would like it to be accomplished. And even though I think that one action of protesting the government and challenging what they're doing is to stop them, right? It's just like, that is your defense. Like, okay, yeah, maybe Matt Gaetz is not going to get them to give us all of our policy victories by him being stubborn and digging his heels in, right? And sort of mucking up the whole thing. But maybe he'll get something out of it, and maybe it's going to cause him to think twice. And in fact, if it mucks the whole thing up and we don't get any progress out of it, so what? That's a benefit, because at least it stops them from spending like, psychopaths like they're doing. So, how do you balance all of these things out? And like, where is the red line, and what's the threshold, and when do you cross it, and all those things? And I was thinking about it for me. For me, it's like, it's really Ukraine, right? It's promising us that there's not going to be Ukraine funding, and then lying to us, and then going and like shoving it in somewhere else. Like, if that happens, I'll be shocked. Like, I won't be shocked, but I'll be like, okay, well, that's enough from Kev, right? That was very dishonest, because he kind of came in, told us that
I don't think you need to do anything
certain
online.
things in there, and then when you wake up, and they are in there because they stuffed it in somewhere.
Can't even get logged in.
Like, for example, the way I was thinking about this, and I don't know the specifics of this, so don't hold me to like the numbers, but my understanding is like they were creating another like emergency provision. So like, no, it's not Ukraine money, but we do have like more FEMA money or whatever, right, for emergencies. And then I'm just waiting for them to just tap into that emergency money and then dump that into Ukraine. Okay, so like there's a whole secret bucket of cash that they're just going to tap into at some point and then send that over to Ukraine. It's like, you guys, like, if you do that, like, that's a bait and switch, and you are now 100% dishonest in front of all of us. And I think that's kind of what Matt Gaetz is getting at. But I don't know, I don't know the specifics of, we can't see anything. It's all buried, right? They always wait till the last minute and then pass something. There's almost no real explanation behind it. Many people in Congress don't even know what the heck they're voting on, and they just cram it through. And then we have to see kind of what happens after the fact. And then suddenly we wake up and there's, tens of billions of dollars that are, going over to Ukraine. Now, here was another clip that just dropped this morning talking about removal of Kev McCarthy.
Leaving Congress as 45 days to pass the remaining appropriation search of the neighborhood bills on the docket. You just heard the chairman say they've already funded 70%. Joining me right now is Georgia Congressman Buddy Carter. He is a member of the House Budget Committee. Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks very much for being here. How did you vote? And tell us the work ahead.
Well, first of all, I supported the continuing resolution. Whereas I understand that a government shutdown is not the worst thing that could happen. The worst thing that could happen would be for us to continue this reckless spending that we have that has led to a $33 trillion debt that has led to a $2.5 trillion budget deficit this year. That cannot continue. That's the worst thing that would happen. But a government shutdown is not the answer. Yes, it brings attention to it, and it needs attention brought to it. But at the same time, we need to keep doing our work. We've got 70% of it done thus far. We need to finish the rest of it. I believe we can do that. The speaker's got us in this week. We were scheduled to be out, but we will be in. We'll be doing our work, and we'll be finishing up.
Meanwhile, Matt Gaetz, congressman from Florida, rounding up a couple of other people to threaten to bring a motion to vacate this week to oust Speaker McCarthy. Gaetz posted on X, "I am trying to change Washington, Congressman." What's going on there in terms of this motion to vacate? What are your expectations?
Well, first of all, this is personal. Everyone in the conference knows that Matt Gaetz just despises Kevin McCarthy. It's pretty well known, and it is personal. Listen, this would be it's ironic to me to think that he's upset that Kevin McCarthy used Democratic votes to help pass a continuing resolution. Yet he wants to go do the same thing, use Democratic votes in order to get Kevin McCarthy to vacate the chair. I mean, what's the irony in that? He is no better off. Kevin McCarthy's done a great job as our speaker. We've made a lot of success, a lot of gains, and we need to continue on now.
I don't know. I think there's probably some truth to that. Like, politics is very strange. Like, think about like the template that I'm thinking about is a Nancy Pelosi template. Okay. Like, Nancy Pelosi was a very effective House Speaker for the left. She had that caucus whip, man. They got a bunch of stuff done over the years. And she caught a lot of flack from the left for not going quickly enough, right? But she still was kind of slow and steady. And I don't know if McCarthy's trying to create that type of majority. So he can't move as quickly, but he wants something that's more, that's got more longevity to it.
Okay.
And yeah, it's curious.
What about the drama over the weekend with Democrats trying to stall the continuing resolution? I mean, New York Congressman Jamal Bowman is apologizing this morning after being caught on camera pulling a fire alarm before the House could vote on the short-term government funding bill. He basically did it so that he could get everybody out of the building to waste time. And amazingly, New York Congresswoman Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is defending Bowman. Watch this.
Yeah, I think we'll play this clip.
Protecting someone who has lied to the American people, lied to the United States House of Representatives, lied to congressional investigators, but they're filing a motion to expel a member who, in a moment of panic, was trying to escape a vestibule. Give me a break.
Jake Tapper.
Congressman, your thoughts?
All right.
We'll probably play that.
All right. He's at 317 West Front Street. That he thought that would open the door.
No, he was a high school principal.
Obviously an obstruction of Congress. He should be prosecuted, just like anyone else who was at the Capitol who had tried to do this should be prosecuted. He is no more above anyone else who would have done it. And his actions here, they should have consequences.
Insurrected America.
About that. And where AOC is getting this from, ridiculous.
Yeah, I think we'll do a segment on that one today too. We got some good stuff coming up today. So, all right. So Kev and McCarthy, let's see what you guys say about that. I'm a little conflicted on it. I think that
you're just giving permission. It is that we don't have to run it.
Yeah, I think this is
unless
right.
we move into a position
the difference between Kevin and Matt
we need
is
your
not really that
permission ahead of
difficult.
time.
McCarthy is Ukraine first. Gaetz is America first.
And both that and the drug screen, you're just filling up the top.
Yeah, but like, what happens if Kev gets ousted? What happens next? Like, what's the next?
Or you get hurt.
What's the next game there?
Of course, we would.
Do the moderate Republicans join with the Democrats and we get more of a Democrat rule? That's my question. Like, I just don't know what the alternative is. Like, have we gamed that out yet? Like, let's say they remove Kev. Who do the Republicans put up there? Or do they not? Do you have moderates who join in with the left and they create some sort of like compromise speaker? Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, but the moderates, I don't think would ever vote. Like there wouldn't be there's not going to be an American.
You never activated
speaker.
that or did anything with that pay card.
Like Gates is not going to be the speaker. Marjorie's not going to be the speaker. Like the mainstream Republicans wouldn't vote for him.
Yeah.
Jim Jordan, maybe. Jim Jordan could be a good compromise. That's not a bad one. He's kind of Jim Jordan, or maybe like you know, like Byron Johnson, maybe, or somebody like that. Although he might be too. And I think he was on team spending, right? He wanted a continuing resolution or something like that.
Yeah, the only thing I'm gonna have you do on the
computer, it's precarious. It's precarious.
Everything else is fine. 99. When you fill it out, we'll update your address in our system. So
probably that, Rob. Someone that garners left support, which very well might be McCarthy again, right?
All set.
Any Republican that gives into any Democrat demand is not a Republican. Byron Donalds is black. That's true. RP Game says Jordan would be a good choice. Yeah, Jordan would be a good choice. I think he might he might be able to compromise, and like you'd have to unify the Republican side, right? Like, and they're not. I don't think that they're going to unify for Matt Gaetz or for Marjorie. I think that they're probably considered too far on the right for the moderates in the Republican Party. So like that's what I'm trying to say. Like, yeah, in a perfect world, you have all of the policies, right, that you want all accomplished, but like it's a very small majority in the House, and so it's like a, you know, I kind of feel bad for Kev. It's like he's got to you know, wrangle all these kids around and try to get everybody in line with like a margin of how many votes, like 4 votes or something like that. So it's a very tough position to be in. But at the same time, you know, it's like, okay, you should be the opposition party. Like if they're getting everything they want, then you're not doing us any good at all. So, you know, I'm trying to see if there's a bigger strategy here, and I really think that a lot of what we're seeing is going to climax. Like we're still on like the second inning right now, right? Like we're going to be into the game, really into the thick of the game next year, and we'll see where it goes. 51K. But he's on the committee investigating Biden. Could he still be the chair as speaker? That's a good question. Can you hold committee assignments if you're the speaker? I don't think so, because Kev's not on any real committees, I don't think. So he might have to get off his committee. Shelly Bell says, yeah, Jordan doesn't need to be divided from what he's doing. The investigations are important. Cartier says, the J6 tapes from my line, F. McCarthy. Yeah, that was another big one. Yeah, that's a big one. Look, and I don't mean this like, I got a lot of criticisms for Kev. Okay, I was disgusted actually by the debt limit lift that brought us all the way into 2025. It's like, what are you doing, man? He just keeps handing victories over to the left. So it's a very frustrating thing. Ranger says this is why party labels should be left off of ballots, so people can just vote according to the name. Snowbird says Jordan didn't want it. Yeah, 51K says Matt's whole point is that Kevin made promises to the Freedom Caucus that he didn't keep. Yeah, that's a problem, right? Like that's a problem. I agree. And it is a problem. And I think Matt Gaetz has some valid criticism.
Page here is just a signature register. All you're going to do is print.
T. Lewis says, according to some in Congress, there is a law that requires Congress to fund the government by individual departments. Each gets their own appropriations. This law has been ignored since the mid-90s. Single up and down vote on a spending bill that covers an all-in-one package is prone to have too much pork, from what I understand. Yeah, it's like bundles, right? They bundle everything up. And, you know, you go to get cable because you want to get, you know, one news channel or something like that. And they bundle in a bunch of other crap. But if you want the one thing, then you got to get it all. You got to get the rest of it with it. And so they do it that way. So that all the Congress people can just shove their pork in there and take that money, grift back over to their states. Bodie's here. What's up, Bodie? Says, I think it stems from the Inflation Reduction Act. Pack a ton of spending into false names. Exactly right. And the Inflation Reduction Act, which obviously hasn't reduced inflation. They might say that it reduced the rate of inflation, but inflation is still dramatically higher. Like everything still costs more this year than it did last year by a lot. And in there, it's really about transitioning, right? I think it's just about, they keep talking about green new energy jobs. So they just take all the public money and they funnel it back over to their green sector donors as they try to take money away from Republican, oil money into their new energy money. NY says, no, you can't hold a committee, but you can overrule all of the committee chairs or rulings. Yeah, that makes sense. Good to see you, Doc. Glad you're joining us this morning in the lovely, lovely Monday. What's up, Ponytail Mom? Dropping a heart over there in the comment section. Nice to see you, Ponytail Mom. And NY says, I just saw someone mentioned requiring Congress to fund the government is unconstitutional. It conflicts with Congress' inherent power, the right of the power of the purse. Yeah, so it's like spending bills will originate in Congress. And yeah, and so like if you force, like if the executive branch forced Congress to give them money, that would be a violation of separation of powers. Tanya says the government needs a huge audit. Yeah, including the Pentagon, right? I would like to know where all the American dollars are going out of the country. Probably make you sick. A lot of money. Foreign aid. Remember, we've gone through some of those foreign aid. I think we went through one of the like Biden's like early budgets or something. We went through all the foreign aid and they just like throw it out there. 800 million, 500 million, 1.2 billion, 600 million. You're just like, oh my gosh. For what? We're all paying for that, man. We've got this from Carrie B. Says, what I love about Jamal Bowman, the story is, had he just pushed open that door, the alarm would have sounded, but he pulled the alarm instead. Guy literally had plausible deniability staring at him and was like, nope, shaking my head. And he was like a principal at a high school or a middle school or something. So he knows what that thing is. And it says fire alarm. Like people were posting pictures of it. I'll probably post the pictures. We'll assemble it on the show. And I also tweeted about this, by the way, that he caused some real serious damage. AOC posted on her Twitter account that, she apparently was in a state of PTSD. I don't know if she crawled under her desk or what, but she was very traumatized because you can see this in her heart rate. And I made this comment. I said, look, documented anxiety and possible hearing loss due to the Bowman attack on the Capitol, because AOC posted this. She said, look, today in a nutshell, here it is. High heart rate. Your heart rate rose to 120 BPMs today. And you seem to be inactive. So you weren't even running around. Loud environment levels. They hit 90 decibels. Probably the fire alarm. Around 30 minutes at this level can cause temporary hearing loss.
Ooh.
So you could use the same scoop on any ingredients false, right?
Correct. Yeah. I mean, what's the point in having different colored ones then?
Yeah, right.
All right. Yep, that's true. It's not when it's convenient. It's actually true. I don't know why it has that. I think it's trying to throw curveballs at you. All right. Well, what's going on here? Let's check this out.
Yeah, anyway, I thought I win. I don't know. With raffles, I feel like I thought I'd win something because they were expensive tickets. They were like $20 a ticket or 6 for $100. So I bought 18 tickets, and there was like, they didn't sell a lot of tickets, So I thought for sure I'd get a call on at least something. $300, I could have bought any one of most of these guns. Used at least. I should have bought them under my company. Then I could have said they were for charity. Idiot. Yeah, fixed raffle. Fixed. Rigged. I did buy them all at once, but I spread them out. I put some in the hopper, and I came back and I put more in the hopper. So I don't know. Well, it was just it was one of those like wheelie, and you just reach in. So the different numbers thing probably wouldn't have mattered. Just a matter of whether or not they grab it or not. So there is lots going on today. I think it's time to get started. Yeah, the raffle was fortified. I think some dead guy won it. Pretty sure. Liberals told Canadians that C11 was about making big streamers pay their fair share. They told us social media wouldn't be regulated. The government is now forming a podcast registry. Now, the reason you might be thinking, this is just America's hat.
Okay.
Literally, who cares?
I get
it's America's hat.
Do you remember the login we used?
They call ham a Canadian bacon up there.
I think I have it written down at home.
Okay.
What I can say,
the website. I'll write the website down for you. And if you don't do it, I can reset it.
Okay. Well, I have something written down, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yep. And then you'll just go to pay history and list all your pay stubs. Yep.
Okay.
You have regulations. First, right. Yellow Vangela is correct. It's a testing ground for us.
Is there a way to
but even more so,
my earliest eligibility would be
even more kind of frightening about
be
that
hired in?
is that
well, it's 500, but generally,
like YouTube,
they're gonna start asking me when you get close.
Okay.
Yeah, they're the position you're in. They're definitely they're not going to want to keep paying.
Even let's use TV as an example.
Okay.
They're going to want to bring you in as soon as possible.
If all national television,
So
website. And usually it's your first name dot last name. Let me
with the
pull it up.
Canadian government
I can at least
and
give you a
live by a
username,
separate
so
set
that
of
might
rules.
trigger something.
Okay.
But equal.
Because I know
I can't see the password, but I can.
What do you think is easier for them to comply to? To have literally two parallel lines of content, one for Canada and the real free speech for everyone else?
Your last four is 8.
Or is it more likely that they will just merge these two lanes and force everyone else to live under?
Okay, you have being
Canadian
in 1970 is your user.
Okay.
That's why it's a big deal.
Yep.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
It's it's not only is it a testing ground for the United States, which we are going to see legendary levels of shenanigans on the internet this year. We had the 2020 election where people kind of got 2016 election, people kind of started looking around and understanding, hey, wait a minute, Mark Zuckerberg doesn't just love democracy so much that he donated $80 billion or $800 million to the Georgia election or whatever the case was. This mother fricker is actually trying to influence the election, right? So people started paying attention. 2016, 2020 came around. Most people's eyes were wide open. We knew that Google, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, we know that they did everything they could to stop acting like platforms and act as publishers. Meaning they made it much more easy to find information on, these are some of the allegations. They made information a lot easier to locate.
Yes, all people still get dandruff.
If
So
you were looking for Democratic candidates, I mean, we saw even with this new lawsuit.
earring, right?
No outside jewelry at all.
National
Yeah,
debate
just anything that could
favored
possibly fall off you and get in the product.
Google search results.
No go.
Right.
Anything under your clothing is
There's
fine.
a lot of shenaniganery. Okay.
It's as silly of a question as it looks like.
I mean, we've done nothing from. We've done.
You'd be surprised how many people miss that because they're like, "This. Wait a minute. This doesn't make sense."
To regulate, to make any changes, to do anything to stop this. You know, there are so many like. This is why I got basically so clown pilled now on our government. Like, it's you know, it's weird to me that, you know, they did nothing, right? They all talked about it. They thought, hey, this is a good idea. Let's, you know, we can't have
Nope. It's the one about the boots.
Google and Facebook.
Yeah, they don't want you wearing them to and from work just for contamination reasons. Yeah.
The scales.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That said, they did, and everyone knew, including Republicans. And they did nothing over the last 4 years. They did nothing.
It's a dumb rule because they'll let you wear the boots in your first day.
Majority.
They prefer you don't wear them to and from work.
You know,
I mean, it doesn't matter what you use them for beforehand.
I'm very concerned for what.
Hello, Cole.
The
it's
what the
more of an
landscape
impact.
of political free speech is going to look like.
Did you want to just come over here?
You know,
I actually had a slot open up over on the front street.
I'm not talking about.
Yep, 5 a.m. tomorrow. Okay. Yep.
In 5 years, I'm talking about like this month.
Yeah, it's the one. It's the one. You do. You do have to have steel
quickly
toes or
Canada
safety shoes, but
this, you know,
yeah, it's the one they don't want you wearing
Look how
to and from
quickly
work.
Canada passed this, and you know, YouTube, Spotify, all these
In the break room,
Netflix,
so you have access to them.
It's cool. It's cool.
Oh, I like the name, Anna.
The government.
I like the name.
Like, I won a racist bot raid in the raffle. Maybe, yeah. Hey, maybe they'll call today. Maybe they didn't draw it till later. I don't know. 2 years under, 0 Republicans had control of both House, and McConnell ignored national reciprocity. Yeah, right. Yeah. So, you know, I think it's I don't know how it feels. I don't know what like how it must feel to be a Canadian, but boy, it seems like it blows ass up there. Like, it really seems like this stuff is nuts. Here you have Chris Pavlovsky, my boss, saying incredibly disturbing, talking about this. CRTC takes major step forward to, quote, modernize Canada's broadcasting framework. So, you know, it's a scary time, I think, if you're a fan of free speech. It's a scary time if you know, the reason that a lot of this stuff gets enacted, right?
What's the question?
Really, just the liberals are better than the conservatives at this. The liberals are just better fascists.
Oh, they actually, you put it in an animal feed
liberals
container.
Are way better.
They send it off to like pig farms and
conservatives
stuff.
Are. They gaslit they gaslight the nations by calling conservatives fascists and this, that, and the other thing.
Now that's the kind of the trick one. I missed that one the first time I took it. The blue brush is for machines, but the conveyor belt itself is considered a food contact surface, so that it would be green or white. So that's a false.
And passed in the past freaking year, all around online censorship. Nobody cares. Nobody fought back because they couldn't. I'm watching my cat play with something, and I'm not sure she should be playing with it. Annie Bonnie, what do you got? What do you got? It was a rock from the aquarium. Probably fine. Probably fine. You know. Try Hard says in Canada, if your parents misgender you, you can put them in jail. Sounds like fascism. Yeah, I mean, it seems like it, right? Annie.
I do sometimes.
No Borks. No Borks in the office this week. It's only meow. Today it's only meow meows.
Good afternoon. Female lounge.
That's Annie. Are you a happy kitty?
Oh, you mean the other side, or the front half? Yeah, yeah. I was out there. There's no Wi-Fi over there.
All right.
Well, I pulled one of the ones from the back hallway there, and I've got at least a signal over there now. Well, okay.
Yeah, it's your mic, no big deal.
We can get the EO system like we did for the housing.
All right. Now, so yeah, this will be interesting to watch how the trickle down effect
I'll tell Kerry what he's ordered
ends up. I don't suspect it will be awesome.
Yep. Bye.
I don't suspect that it will be awesome. Now my cats are fighting. So next up, well. Apparently, the way to get in all the headlines these days, the way to get
not a pellet with the slip sheet,
the clout, is to complain about things that you
I'm going to come get them from
100% control of. Now I lead into this. I want to, when I say this, I want to remind people that
the medical ones.
Also,
the first one would be either. The second one's both.
So I am not making fun of this woman for being obese. I'm making fun of her because her ideas are terrible. Because she wants everybody else to have to bend and change their ways to accommodate her life decisions. If you are morbidly obese, that is a choice.
I'm going to connect you to
sure, there are some people out there that have glandular problems or whatever that whatchamacallit, thyroid problems. Okay, there's this stuff, right? But then when you're like understanding of it, right? Like I'm a bigger guy, and when I buy plane seats, I buy first class, and I buy the one that there's only one seat on one side and two on the other, so I don't spill over into someone else's seat. When my dad was still around, they would buy two seats. They would buy a 3-row for two people. That's what you would do.
You're so concerned about what's happening in Maui that you somehow managed to hire a private firefighting team to protect your land before the fire started.
What?
You're so concerned about what's happening in Maui that instead of taking some of that land and housing even a small portion of those displaced people, you've hired a private security team to keep them off your land. You're so concerned about Maui that you simply haven't had time to denounce any of the shady real estate deals which are robbing people of everything they have, like the ones you were involved in that helped you acquire that land for pennies on the dollar of what it was actually worth. You're so concerned about Maui that instead of taking what would amount to a year's salary for you and 4 or 5 of your billionaire friends, which could be used to rebuild the entire place in a matter of months, you're jumping on social media and asking the American public, most of whom can't afford to pay their rent right now, to do it for you. You're so concerned about Maui that it's more important that you get social media points than that you help.
A shotgun. Fire to blast.
I have all these cat toys, and you choose
an index card.
Cats are neat. They're so neat. They always behave. It's a net positive in your life. Now, I don't know. Like, I'm like literally, I'm a big guy. Okay. I have never walked down a hallway and thought, whoa, is it me or are these walls closing in on me? A plus-size travel influencer who previously demanded other passengers
yeah, you can run real quick
for
because
obese
you're going to take
flyers
turns on
with
the
extra
computer now.
seats, has now called on hotels to enlarge hallways to help fat guests.
Yep.
I just want to
Back corner
remind you, if you're
directly
watching this live or if you're watching this as a standalone video, and you're going to want to click the like button because I
just want you to create your own password there.
Is this real? Yes, my friend.
It has to have uppercase, lowercase, number, and symbol.
It is spectacular. Jaylyn Cheney, a travel and lifestyle creator based in Vancouver, said her aim is to make the travel industry more accepting place for all. No, wrong.
Yeah.
She wants to
exclamation point, dollar sign, something like that.
Impede on the
That's
other
okay.
90% of
Shift
travelers.
1 or shift 4 for
bend over
dollar.
backwards for them. I don't want to use like infringe on your rights because it's not. I don't know if you really have any rights as like a customer, but it's similar. Like she wants everyone else to pay for her own life decisions. This is the same thing that you have with some, for example, some of these trans activists, right? We need 31 different bathrooms for people. And if you don't do it, we're going to boycott your business. You know, 99.9% of the population doesn't qualify for this, but they must all live under our delusion.
Yep.
Back in April, she started a petition to the U.S. Federal Aviation Authority to, quote, protect plus-size travelers and make flying in coach comfortable and accessible for everybody. I'll tell you this, unless you're flying international or like a nice, like a 777 or something, a bigger plane, first class ain't even comfortable. It's called quote unquote business class just because you have less people breathing on you, but it's not exactly cush. Yeah, they give you a free drink. Okay. They give you a free drink, but
all right,
this is
log in
if you've never really
with the
traveled
new password that you just created.
Maybe you never really traveled first class before. A lot of us go back to like the episodes of Seinfeld where he flew first class from like Ohio. He flew at first class from like one state to the next state, and they had like ice cream sundaes. They had like a curtain. That doesn't exist. You're all cattle class.
Oh, you're first name dot last name.
Just fewer cattle next to you.
First name dot last name.
Yep. First name period last
In
name.
her latest video, Cheney referenced multiple demands specifically for hotels across the world, including, quote, make elevators and hallways more spacious to allow for easy movement of larger individuals and those utilizing mobility devices. I can take one look at her and tell you she's taking up every bit of these 2 seats. So why shouldn't she have to pay for them? Again, I'm a fat. Just so we're clear. Now, I don't extend over into a second seat, but I usually go out of my way to make sure, you know, either it's someone I know that's sitting next to me. That's like, I fly like with my girl, you know, she's small, so it doesn't matter. But if it's like a stranger or something like that, then it becomes, you know, then I'm like, ah, crap, you know. She now wants hotels to raise their toilet seats and fit each room with handheld shower heads so that bigger bodied people can use the facilities with ease. Now, she doesn't want to lose weight.
You said no to one of the questions?
Oh, I don't know.
The influencer also asked for handrails on pools
Let me see
and sturdy chairs so people can lounge in peace. Well, hey, look, I'll back you on the sturdy chairs. I mean,
Yeah,
look, this is a bit of self-shame, okay? But there are times when I'm like,
we gotta say yes to that. Or
looking at like some
I'm gonna reset them. It's
like some wooden stools or some chairs, and I'm like, nah, I'm just gonna stand.
So it's yes.
I'm just gonna stand. I'm cool. No, I'm cool. I'll say, oh no, I sit all day for work.
Getting hit by 4 different directions. I'm trying to do a Zoom meeting at the same time I'm doing 3.
The influencer also asked for, it's that she asked for stronger beds, size inclusive bathrobes going up to 6XL, and plus size friendly towels for guests. So again, every hotel on earth has to spend this money because of her. Look, I understand. I told everyone I went on my first vacation in like, I don't know, 10 plus years. And I actually went to the place I stayed had like a spa on site. I got my first massage ever. And like you go to the spa and they're like, hey, put on a robe. And I get the robe and I'm like, and then I'm like, do you have anything bigger? And they did have, they're like, oh yeah, we have this. Then one of the lockers had like a bigger one in it. But like, I would not have been like, this is the resort's fault. I'd be like, oh man, wake up call, Papa J. You can't put a robe on. Like maybe, you know, again, her suggestions were greeted with mixed reviews. One person wrote, I agree with this idea, but some are out there of these hotels. Some of these things are out of the control. Hotels control lift size, for example. Another added, I'm backing you 100%. Others are more harsh. How are you going to ask for things to change, but you refuse to change yourself? Exactly. If you cannot walk down a hallway, I mean, you've got some serious problems. Like, stop traveling and like, you know what I mean? I don't know how big you would have to be. I guess I've probably stayed in 50 hotels in my life. I've never been, maybe some really old hotels that have been like repurposed, like maybe in downtown Chicago or New York or something like that. But I can't ever thinking, man.
All right, go ahead and try it again.
Geez, this hallway.
Only log in.
Another said, I agree, but some things are just not possible. The amount of money it will take to make these changes are unreal. As plus size travelers, my partner and I have unfortunately experienced discrimination and discomfort while flying, which has been a petition which has been signed by a whopping 4,300 people. I mean, she might be a very nice woman. Okay, I don't know her personally, but making these demands, everybody else is actually insane to me.
Travel industry and making it more accessible, accepting, accommodating place for all. The needs of plus size travelers matter just as much as anybody else. And today,
no, they don't. They don't, and I'm a plus size traveler. They don't. If you want to fly, you buy 2 seats. If you want a bigger hotel room, spend the money for a nicer hotel room. I've never had a problem staying at extended stays, which are like $100 a month. They're plenty big for me. And at my biggest, I was like 6'5", 380. I never had a problem. How big do you have to be? Like, spending all this time making TikToks is great, but maybe, you know, take a look. Take a look at yourself.
There you go. Update that info.
Again, I don't have any problem. My problem is not with her being overweight. I don't care. Okay? It's the same thing with people who want to say they're a spirit animal or whatever. You do you, but when you start forcing that on me and making me have to deal with your own delusions, that's where I draw the line. Like, it's so, like, these people are nuts. Like, nobody's making that woman, I don't know what, I have to guess she's probably like 450 pounds. And I've known some very fat people in my life, and I've never heard them say, wow, they really need, you know, people need to accommodate for me. In fact, here's what she should do, lose some weight. Yep. Wasted Bonehead says, good noon from the grave. I'm not saying that, like, I'm just saying that, you know, Yeah, that is true. Holofox says, Jeremy, in contrast to her, one-third of
that
your
phone
extra
number
is
good?
distributed along your vertical axis. It does help being tall.
Do you have a phone, email
help spread
address?
it out.
Put that in there.
I don't know how much she weighs, but if you said 450 pounds, I would believe you.
No food or beverages in your lockers, guys.
And again, I'm not here, and I don't
There's
even
a place in
like,
the break
I
room for
don't
that.
I
It's
don't
okay.
rock with anyone making fun of her for being overweight. I don't fuck with that. I don't think that's okay. But what I do think is that it's not my fault, and I shouldn't have to. Just gonna try to make you a mod, Heather. I don't know how to do it. I was gonna put some mods in because it's getting harder to. Some people that I recognize here. Who's here like every day? You know, the mod thing for me.
That's okay.
I don't want people. I don't want mods. You know, I don't want mods muting and anybody. All I want is people to help me with the obvious spammers or people just posting other people's videos. I don't care if people are being mean and That's the correct. Yep. All right. So they got modded. You've just been moderated. All right. Cool. Thank you guys. Appreciate you.
All right. That was weird. That's
I don't know why you still don't have it.
I don't even know the last time we
We'll check it out. You're in here, so if it's not
So-
there, where I'll look. Everyone loves a good F around and find out tale.
Yeah, it
Now,
wasn't
this
bad at all.
story actually happened a while ago, but it has been thrust back into
Yeah, you're fine.
the cultural zeitgeist, back
I'll
into
tell
the
you if you didn't.
ongoing conversation because of a court ruling that has in fact enforced the find out portion of the F around. And this is a YouTube prankster who I'm not going to give any clout because I think YouTube pranks are, look, it's fine. It's fine, but they always go too far. I mean, I've been YouTubing for a million years. You saw when I had Harley Mornstein on, we talked about the era of prank YouTube where it's like in the hood, gone spicy, like kiss your mom challenge. Like it got to be like so bad and so dumb. When you start like messing with other people, then I have a problem with it.
I can't do it. That little green bar there that you're looking at
was
you
basically
just don't click where it says stop.
harassing
Just
a
click
guy
in it and drag
in
it
the
out of the
mall.
way down to the bottom.
And that guy decided to
bury it
ventilate
down there.
him
Yeah.
for it.
All right, on this page here,
Now,
pick the things that you have, not
Okay,
just
we're
for
gonna
this
take a look
position, but
at
in
as much of
general.
the
that
event
you
as
have
we can.
skills
We'll
in.
see what YouTube can, say. I'll cut it off before the thing actually happens. But essentially, like, he was harassing this guy.
Yeah.
Harassing
went out,
this
guys.
guy.
Sorry. Just
And he had the
the
shocking
modem
moment.
completely
21-year-old
rebooted here.
YouTube prankster stunt went badly wrong when a delivery driver he targeted ventilated him. The video shows this loser who runs a terrible loser YouTube channel harassing Alan Coley as he picked up a food order at the Dolestown Center Mall in Sterling, Virginia on April 2nd. Now, shout out to the DoorDash drivers out there and the food delivery people. I know that it's a tough dollar to make and that a lot of customers suck. I always attempt to, help offset that by being extra nice. But I can't imagine you're like a DoorDash driver. You don't even know if you're going to get screwed on the tip. And you have this moron like harassing you in the mall. All right.
Good job, Justin.
Now, after ventilation, the update is that the court has acquitted him, saying it was essentially a good firing, good discharge. And my thing is the internet is divided. Most people are like, oh yeah, that's self-defense. In my opinion, it definitely wasn't. If I was on that jury, I don't know how I would have voted, but my position is, maybe don't do that because you're putting your life in the hands of 12 other people. You don't know how they're going to view it. Yeah, the internet viewed it like, ha ha ha, this prankster got what he had coming to him, but you don't know who's on that jury. Cook can be seen following Collie around the mall while
Bathroom's
thrusting
that
his
corner
phone
over
in
here.
his face as it plays a bizarre phrase. Hey, Dip S, quit thinking about my twinkle multiple times using a Google Translator app.
Yep.
Collie backs away from
Yeah,
Cook
just
and
answer the
tells him to
first
stop
question and
3
it'll
times
decide the
before
rest.
trying to knock the phone away from his face as the YouTuber continues to advance towards him. So, I mean, I think that like you
Is it
could
the last
make
7
the
years?
argument. You could make the
can say
argument that
no.
you felt unsafe. I understand that.
And next.
One thing that's like frustrating and difficult when I talk about this type of thing online, on Twitter, or even in a YouTube video, people will rush to like argue and say like, you're wrong. It was totally justified. My position is not that it was or was not justified. My position is that it was extremely risky to then count on the court to acquit you. That's all I'm saying. You don't know what the guy's going to do. It's actually 2 guys kind of on one. So he says, he backs away, tells him to stop 3 times before trying to knock the phone out of his face as YouTuber continues to advance towards him. It was at that point that Colley's stunt went badly wrong, and the delivery driver was strapped and put one on him. The incident sparked panic as shoppers fled as they feared, there was one of those events going on, as PD pinned Colley to the ground and arrested him. He was charged with all sorts of things.
State assistant.
Last week,
that's actually cash assistant.
Colley, who had his CCW,
there's a different question for like a food card or something,
was found not guilty of malicious wounding in the event after he said he was acting in self-defense. Now,
it'll ask you specifically,
again,
you or anyone in your family.
I can already feel the arguments brewing. I don't care.
Okay,
fine by me. Don't screw.
We just get a tax credit for hiring people that are on assistance. So,
don't mess with people. Okay.
Right.
I get it.
Right.
But all
they
I'm
would specifically
is,
say a food card, so that'd probably be no.
He had to go to court. He had to get arrested, and he had to account for, a jury to potentially see it the way he did. He was found guilty of a lesser charge of discharging in an occupied dwelling, but a judge will hear arguments to set aside this conviction at a hearing next month after his lawyer appealed it. If found guilty of the lesser account, he faces still up to 10 years in prison. So he had to beat not 1, but 2 federal crimes now. Now, I would argue that if the judge said that it was a clean self-defense scenario, then why would it matter if it was inside or out? I would think that he should be able to appeal that as well. One of Colley's defense attorneys said that his client felt menaced by the 6'4" tall Cook during the confrontation, which was designed to provoke a reaction to draw viewers to their YouTube channel. Pouliard said Cook is trying to confuse people to post videos. He's not worried that he's scaring people. He keeps doing this. Cook's channel has more than 50,000 subscribers and is known for controversial stunts like pretending to yak on Uber drivers and following unsuspecting customers through department stores. Again, this is the side of the prank YouTube and stuff that I hate.
O.H. Monroe.
Pranks are supposed to be lighthearted and funny and not this kind of stuff. This kind of stuff is lazy. I'm saying, again, I want to be clear because I don't want my audience to think that I don't support somebody protecting themselves. And I can't know what this guy was feeling at the time. Maybe he was feeling a sense of dread. Maybe he was feeling threatened, for his life. Okay. In fact, in terms of the law, he's probably better off discharging than waving it around. I would not call what this guy was doing a prank. It was just harassing somebody. And there's a reason this guy doesn't do that down in the hood. There's a reason that this guy does this kind of stuff where there's security around, people who can protect him.
Impact employment, I'm speaking up. I help you.
He was left fighting for his life after the incident, spent several days in the ICU. The YouTuber insisted during the trial that he had.
Okay, what day did you work?
He had scared or angered the person during the prank, despite the delivery driver telling
last
him
week
3 times before trying to knock the
payday's Friday.
Irritated, very irritated.
It's a payday is Friday.
Lying. He testified last week that he tries to confuse the targets of his pranks.
Well, the work week goes from Monday to Sunday.
He said he does not seek to elicit
2 hours
fear or
last
anger,
week.
but acknowledge his
So you'll get paid this Friday. This Friday.
So the jury probably hated this kid.
No,
right?
no. It's Monday. The
jury
work week.
hated him.
I mean, the
So
work.
This guy.
Right. The
got
work
off
week
for
is
the
from Monday to
judgment.
Sunday. I mean, we can't pay you
He's
that same
still
Friday.
open. My whole point is that he still needed a judge
No worries,
to
no
agree with
worries.
him, which he's still not clear of. And now
Yes,
he's
ma'am.
still going to probably get sued in a civil suit. Because there's a very
whatever
statute. There's a very different
it's going to be on the contract.
level of which, that you have to
Okay,
prove
ma'am.
your
I'm doing
innocence
3 interviews right now.
in a criminal trial versus
All right.
a civil trial.
No worries. Yeah.
And, all of this Again,
my cell phone number.
I think, yeah, fine. You know, fine. I mean, after
right
to
now.
find out. Ask why he didn't stop the prank. Despite Colley's repeated requests, Cook said that he almost did.
Yeah.
But now said that he wasn't exhibiting the type of reaction that Cook was looking for.
Can you come by tomorrow at 1?
There was no reaction, Cook said. Prosecutor Eden Holmes said that during the trial,
the office is.
The facts of the case don't support a self-defense argument, as Colley's lawyer had argued. The law requires that Colley reasonably fear that he was in imminent danger of bodily harm, and that he.
They're as busy as they've ever been over there.
She said Cook's prank was bizarre, not threatening.
And in fact, I had quite a few people over here as well.
I agree with that.
But yeah, it's not a hard
and
job
he's going to lose every penny.
You try to log back in?
Lawsuit, I can almost guarantee.
Okay, let's just do this.
Am I going to lose any sleep over this idiot? No. Do I think that?
Let me load some things for you.
Channels
should log right back in one more
YouTube,
time.
Probably when they go this far. Probably when they go this far. You know, I don't know if it's monetized. I don't know, whatever. But his entire thing's detained at the airport. I got ventilated, asking strangers to watch their tone. His entire anger guy charges cameramen. So like this YouTube got rid of this garbage tier content a long time ago. And I would not care one bit. You can do pranks. I like pranks. You should allow pranks. That's fine. But when your entire premise of the prank is harassing people to elicit a response, I'm fine with that not being monetized. I'm fine with that not being incentivized. Because if it weren't like,
you gotta open up
this
all
guy
these
could have
fucking tabs
died.
again.
What an idiot! What an idiot! But make sure you leave a like on this video and you subscribe or follow down below. I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. What's this?
I did, Midwest. I saw them both. I didn't see the live premieres.
So here's a video of the kid leaving court. This is from the Not Louis C.K. account. I don't actually know if this is Louis C.K. or not. I don't think it is. It says I'm not Louis C.K., but maybe comedy, parody, satire. So it's not. My personal opinion, Tanner never learned his lesson and is a product of poor parenting. He is now a huge douchebag. A parent should never support their child in everything they do. Parents are there to teach them right from wrong, not bail their kids out every time they do something wrong.
But, you know,
okay. Click on employee login and log back in one more time. Hopefully our internet holds up.
We're going to continue the videos.
I just want to thank God that he's
now,
alive at the end of the day.
Justin, when you get, I'm going to have you go next because you only have one form you got to fill out. I've got all your other shit still.
So. I have my son here, and nothing else matters.
And then I got to set you up with a pay card.
I want to thank the prosecutors, the Commonwealth prosecutors, Ms. Jones, and Eden Holmes. They did an outstanding job presenting this case, and we couldn't have had.
Who might have a question about your content?
How's it going? Yeah. Okay. Kind of jump right in the fire, huh?
Guess I'll just have to keep watching.
Today?
You'll continue to make videos.
I said they kind of put you right in the fire today with everything.
How disappointed are you about this?
I really don't care. I mean, it is what it is. It's God's plan at the end of the day. So.
Oh, it's God's plan.
Right.
Yeah.
How are you as far as opinion about his content on YouTube? Do you agree with it?
I support Tanner in whatever he decides to do, and I'm going to continue supporting him.
How hard was it for you to watch that video again? I know you had to send it out.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, didn't learn his lesson. Totally unsurprising. Totally unsurprising.
Rules and stuff. You just have to check the box on the top and bottom of that page. I've given you a written copy of all these. If you just want to electronically sign as well. For some reason.
I mean, he uploaded a video
one
a month
batch
ago.
goes to Background, one batch goes to our bank. So
I mean, if you look at his content, he's just an annoying piece of shit.
I don't know why he keeps running away.
What's nice about the next button is that something is right.
His prank here is that he tells people, I don't know who this person is, but they're filming you.
Captain Oxford?
Hello, excuse me. Excuse me. Hello. I'm just wondering if you're working on some kind of a photo project since you're taking pictures in the library. Of course, it's a public place, but it's usually a good idea to ask people if you'd like for their permission before you take pictures of them.
What are you up to? What are you up to? Oh no, we're just seeing what you're up to.
What?
Whoa, what are you doing here?
Get out of here.
No, get out.
No. Come on, get out of here.
Yeah, get out of my kitchen.
So he's pretending to be a security guy. Like he's just a piece of shit. He's just a piece of shit. I bet you gained a bunch of subscribers too because the world sucks. Yeah, hassle doctrine. Yeah, that is true. Maybe he's a Frank Hassel fan. I'm not sure that he qualifies as somebody who would be on any kind of the same level as Frank Hassel. That's just my opinion. What is this new? All right. Buy shotgun. Buy double barrel shotgun. Fire 2 blast. Public. I'm just going to publish this video here. The Lore Lodge mentioned that they're going to start using Rumble, so well done there. Nice.
Easiest just to
I think
type
that
it.
a lot of
with
people, when I
slashes.
tried to inspire people,
Can I send you my account?
Yeah, sure. Just if you could screenshot or something like that, and just text it to the office number.
Clear that I was not saying to abandon YouTube.
If not tomorrow,
You know
sometime
what I
or
mean?
something like that, you can
Like,
just
I was
swing down. We'll just do it, man.
Extremely clear that I wasn't saying quit YouTube, and then everybody, that's all they heard. They were like, I'm not quitting YouTube. That's crazy. I'll stop. I have bills to pay. I'm like, that's not what I said. I said, that you should supplement. Shout out, nice, beautiful crowd of 4,000 smart, good-smelling people. Want to remind you all that I have a coffee company. Over 5,500 reviews on coffeebrandcoffee.com. Promo code TheQuartering will save. We've got 3 new fall flavors: butterscotch toffee, pumpkin pie, and spiked jack-o'-lantern. It also goes directly to supporting the channel, so I hope that you'll check it out. We've got maybe 20 different kinds of coffee, all available in whole bean and ground. 15 organic teas, 3 real cacao cocos.
Yeah, and then
So
up
I'm
here,
hoping that
where it says other
browse
names,
on
put
over,
N/A,
later
also
today,
for apartment.
or
Well, you
stop
have an
on over
apartment number,
to
so don't worry about that.
Coffee
That
Brand
for some reason,
Coffee
that blank
to
can't be
support the
blank.
channel.
I don't know why.
Fire 2 blasts. All right. If you're here tuning in, by the way, there's a little follow button down below. It would be the
In the
bee's
first box
knees
inside the gray
if you
box.
click that, and if you don't have a Rumble account, get the app. If you're on your phone, get the app so you can follow
the bottom,
there, or if you're on
next.
desktop. No, we're getting to the woke Bambi coming up. Now, I've talked about the marketing model of the fans website before, the fact that you only ever hear from, the top 1%. This is actually really nefarious, and I wanted to make a video about it because there's some question, there's some speculation that certain creators on this platform were asked to promote specifically how they bought a new house from selling pictures of their beehole, got a new this, got a new that. Okay. And it's extremely,
you just claim yourself for now
with millions of creators on the platform. Millions. Okay. I want to remind people.
So besides yourself, two others.
Average earnings.
So would be here, put 2,000.
Earnings of somebody who's selling pictures that will be on the internet forever is $145 a month. Now you never see that.
Like I do.
You never see that.
You sign here. The rest is just a worksheet that doesn't do anything.
News articles running what are, in my opinion.
All right, don't worry about license number.
OF.
Just put today's date.
Plant a story.
They won't let us put a
future
future
news
date.
site covers it because you have some. You can have a thumbnail that's very spicy, very interesting, very sensual looking. That's going to get a lot of clicks. And so all of these people happily get on board promoting a pipe dream. It's the same marketing tactics, by the way, that YouTube, Twitch, Kick.
And then here you'll put
all
2.
These social media platforms rely on.
Number 6.
That you have a situation where you only ever see the tiny percentage of people that actually make it. And they don't ever talk about the realities of it. A while ago, I've been wanting to talk about this. Like Shuan had mentioned, OF is allegedly paying successful influencers to brag about how they bought their first house/apartment thanks to OF during a housing crisis.
Correct.
So it's one thing to accept the fact that you have a 1 in a million shot of actually reaching any popularity standard. But it's another thing to go tell your creators, hey, you should go out and you need to go out and tell people this so that we can get free promotion.
All right, good. Well, it's just pending review. It just means I have to do my portion. You're done.
Fired.
Plug you out. There you go.
After boss finds OF account she runs with hubby. Report.
Yeah, just give me a second. Another fire I got to put out real quick here.
Every week runs the same article. I can't get a date because guys think I'm too attractive. Missouri high school teacher was placed on leave Wednesday after administrators found out her and her husband were running an OF page. The same. Now, this is marketing.
Okay. I need you on the computer.
It grabs you, and it's like for a lot of us, like, haha, F around, find out.
What's up?
What this is, in my opinion, is actually a paid.
It's going to be at least another half hour or so.
That's fine.
The St. Clair School District launched an investigation into Brianna Copage over a scandalous side gig shortly after rumblings of the account swept through the community roughly 55 miles southwest of St. Louis. Quote, "It was always this cloud hanging over my head, like I never really knew when it would be discovered," she told the St. Louis Dispatch.
Okay,
then
you're all
about
set.
2
Yeah.
weeks
First
ago,
name,
my
not
husband and I
last
were
name.
told that people were finding out about it, so I knew this day was coming. The freshman and sophomore English teacher said she was motivated to launch her site account over the summer to bolster her.
Oh, do you want to use that for real quick? That's fine.
See what I mean?
Where is it again?
Back corner over there.
First of all,
Watch your head.
Shout out to
Okay.
teachers. Okay. She claims that $42,000 was measly, but also remember that teachers only work 8.5 months out of the year.
It's the temporary for now. The
They
capital
have
T, then lowercase
June.
EMP, temp 1, 2, 3.
Like all of June, all of July, most of August off. So the equivalent salary is probably somewhere around 55 or 60,000. But I'm saying that it is my belief that based on, what Shu said, And what I see with these articles, that this is like a next level nefarious ad. This is actually an ad. Because who cares, right? She's making $10,000. So then it writes, her OF raked in between $8,000 and $10,000 a month, which has since doubled following the news of her suspension. You tell me that this isn't a planted ad in the form of a...
Yeah, I want you to create one now. It has to be along the same lines. It has to have an uppercase, lowercase, a number, and a symbol.
You too can make $20,000 a month selling pictures of your beehole, just like this average-looking American.
All right.
Again, by the way, I don't believe those numbers. Just so we're clear, I do not believe those numbers. I do not believe she's making $20,000 a month. This is an ad. This is to trick women into thinking it's easy money to go do it. District Superintendent Kyle Cruz told the outlet in a statement that the district was recently notified that an employee may have posted this type of media in one or more internet sites. Her status within the district will hinge on the results of an investigation. If this were true, she was making $42,000 a year. She now makes $240,000 a year. Do you think this, if that's true, do you think this woman cares about getting fired from her teaching job? No.
All right. Documents.
The district says they haven't made a decision yet, but I'm kind of putting the pieces together that I'm not coming back. Yeah, and that's why, in my opinion, you probably hired a PR agency, or OF themselves, OnlyFans themselves hired a PR agency to put these articles out there. This is nothing but a win-win for both of them. This woman never cared about losing her teacher's job.
Yeah. Probably be at the Telegraph.
And now she gets to pretend like she's the victim, make $250,000 in the next year, and then everyone will forget about her. And then OF gets to market this. This article is written up in every major website. Every major website covered this. Daily Mail, married Missouri high school teacher, put on leave. Here's this one, put on leave. Daily Beast, petition launched to bring back teacher after she was suspended OF. This is all PR. Wow, 300 signatures. I'm saying this woman is extremely average. I do not believe she's making $240,000 a year. She's out of shape. And again, I'm just saying she might be a fine person, but she is not $250,000 a year OF empire attractive.
James? Oh, okay. Yeah. When would you be available
The idea that this is not just a PR piece
I don't start till
OF
1 tomorrow.
is like hilarious.
1 o'clock? Okay. Do you know where the office is?
The entire purpose of this, look at these two pictures.
Okay,
This is
yep,
what a
tomorrow at 1 p.m.
Photoshop and makeup look like.
Yeah. Hey, just make
And
sure
this
you
is
bring
what
an
the
ID
actual
and either a
person
social
looks
or certificate. All right. See you tomorrow.
Pretty different.
I always overbook. Usually they all show up. So
I went from working in a subway to owning a house at 19. This is what I'm saying, right?
when can you get started?
Well,
Then I'll go meet anyway, so I might as well make cash. But again, the same
Up
kind
to
of.
you. I want you to start when you're ready.
so he says 4 10s, right? So what days would I work?
The first week you'll probably work through Friday if you
At
start
$5
Wednesday.
If I
a
start
month.
Thursday, I'd work
Thursday and
Thursday,
Friday.
Okay, if she
They
makes
may
20K
call
a
for
month,
volunteers on Saturday,
which I would probably
Right?
do that.
That's what she said.
but then
20K.
you'll be on the schedule. You'll have it won't always be a Monday or a Friday off. It'll depend on their production.
Also, it'll either be a Monday.
You're
through
telling me
Thursday
that
or
4,000 people are
Yep.
paying $5 a month?
And while you're there, if they haven't gotten you on the schedule yet
I
for
don't
the next
believe
week, just ask.
Oh.
Say, hey, what day you guys want me to start next week? And
It's all just,
Yeah,
it's
I'm,
all
I
to
can
sell.
start,
It's all, this is all PR.
Thursday. So
I'd be
Thursday is the
surprised
5th.
if they didn't also start this petition.
10, 5, 23. What do you want to do
And
for
fellas,
direct deposit?
it's pathetic. Stop paying for this, all right? Overconsumption of this type of material is already bad enough.
Or
For it's
something
far
else.
worse.
All right, let me get you one then.
The fact that all these
We'll have
sites
to
are
come
like,
back
oh,
by
yeah,
here.
look at, and then they're going to link to her OF account. You know, she originally chose a direct subscriber service because she thought it was private enough to protect her identity. That's why she posts. That's why her face is in all the pictures. I don't believe any of this. This is just paid marketing. She might have a couple hundred people paying for it. Maybe. Maybe. That was like completely separate personal life outside of teaching, she said. There's this expectation that the teachers should be moral leaders of students. And I don't disagree with that. I taught the curriculum. I taught students reading and writing. And then I didn't guide them on my thoughts or beliefs. And I can't control what people think of me. I just know that I am who I am as a person is not doing anything illegal. I'm a good friend, I'm a good family member.
Yep. It won't let you activate it on your end until the first pay hits it.
Covering this, I'm more able to recognize it.
Yeah, if you start this week, it'll be next Friday.
Two things are true here. One of these two, it must be
Right. Once the money hits it, that's when
either
it
she really is making $20,000 a month, and therefore she's lying about
Good
caring
to go.
about
I got you for the.
or she really isn't making $20,000 a month, and she does care about losing it.
Okay. All right. If you have any questions, just shoot me a text.
Right?
I'll be here Thursday.
Nice meeting you.
All right, you too. Thank you very much.
I bet that she is not making $20,000 a month, as these articles say.
3:30 to
Because
2
all
a.m.
of these
yes.
articles are happy to report how much money these women are making, but they never ask for a single screenshot. Again, most performers do not make a
That's what
fortune
you're
on
looking at.
OnlyFans. Indeed, the majority of them receive
Yeah, you're good.
less than $145 a month.
Okay, it's fine. All right, Justin, have a seat over
The
here.
top
You can have a seat.
1% of accounts make 33% of all money. And the top 10% of accounts and the top 10% of accounts make
just click on, mobile
73%
application.
of all the money. This woman was no chance, no shot. She was in the top 10. No shot. This is just gross marketing to trick women into thinking it's going to be easy. There's just no way. This is just a marketing campaign, and everybody is happy to run it because they get more clicks because they can put some scantily clad woman in the thumbnail. No shot.
Monroe.
What do you think? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you leave a like. If you haven't yet, please do follow or subscribe. I just don't buy it. I don't buy it. What I do buy is all right.
Oh, and remember, you don't want the browser to remember your information. So yeah.
Fire 2 blasts. You know how we've been talking about for, I don't know, since the beginning of time on this channel, the old mantra of get woke, go broke, the modern trend of reimagining all of your favorite childhood movies, which essentially just means replacing white actors with anybody but white actors, and then turning a few of them into members of the LGBTQ community. That's literally the extent of it. I'd like to see anybody disprove that. I mean, you go ahead and watch Little Mermaid.
You can put whatever you want for the password. It has to be along the same lines. I doubt that username is going to be available. Probably want to put like
push
full
it
first name dot
and pump it out and expect everyone to.
If we ever have to
It's
reset
a
it, that's
very
what we
simple
make it.
formula, and ultimately, it's working. And now we actually, I don't even know how I could.
When do you want to get started?
How I could.
Thursday.
I've seen this
first
coming,
shift.
but we are now getting a woke remake of Disney's
You know where the telegraph
Bambi.
location is? Yeah.
I'm not kidding
right?
you.
Yeah, 10-5. All right, same deal.
Bambi.
Be good to go.
By the way, if you're enjoying the video, please do subscribe or follow down below. It makes finding the videos easier. And
Well, I mean, let them know what your work schedule is, and it'll probably change that.
Disney's Bambi remake.
If he wants to
will change
contact me,
it
if he needs a letter or an
to
email
avoid
from me, I'll be glad to
traumatizing
send
kids.
it.
Oh, there's more than this.
Yep. Yep.
Disney's Bambi is getting
Yep.
a live
Your all-time
action
stuff. Yep.
remake.
All right.
How
Yeah, have them reach
awesome.
out. You have my card?
Live action. Are they going to train a deer?
My email's on the card, so if he wants to email me, and I can
what
send
is
him a
this
letter
even?
or whatever he needs. All right.
Who are these people? Who wants to watch it? What? Like the company's other classic cartoons that get the treatment, the news has divided fans of the entertainment giant and they've taken to social media to express their dissent. In an interview with Collider, writer Lindsay Anderson Beer shared her plans. Oh, female writer, that's a good start. Yep, that's about normal. I do think there's a way to update Bambi. Oh my God, we should play
Hey, what's up, Kelly?
I guarantee you there's a quote out there somewhere already where they talk about for a modern audience. But I digress. Let's continue.
Before it should have been downloaded to this card.
There is a way to update Bambi.
I called yesterday. They said no money. I thought I had
scope to it.
another
Yeah, that's right.
office job. I thought it was the wrong card.
What's your last name?
Be about a deer.
I was like 1 day, 2.5
Probably
hours.
going to be trans.
And I
Probably
clocked
going to have to
out.
You're right.
go through
My
like a
money
BLM rally or something like that.
Download it to the card. I
Can't
need to
wait
be
for
able
all
to
these
use my. I need the
It's
money.
there. It was sent.
Okay, but how do you? I called. What do I
Bambi
do
with
to
another
find out if the
female
money's
animal.
how much money's on there?
You got to speak to customer
I did
service.
yesterday. They told me there was no money. I spoke
I
to
just
a
think they're
woman.
being
I had to
to
go
life
through
for
all the
kids
apps
in a way
and
that
all the
maybe they'll
bullshit.
relate to a
I,
little
Excuse
bit
me?
I'm sorry.
This
I'm
is
just.
the
I'm
stupidest.
I need the money. That's all.
I understand that, but you were given a pay card,
If
I
kids
know,
could
but
relate
and it was
yesterday-
sent to that pay card.
Yes,
to a
but no,
deer
yesterday the
80
woman
years
told me there
ago,
was no money.
they can probably
How
do
would you
it
know how much
now.
money's supposed to be on it?
I can tell you what the net was.
Okay, thank you.
A little
And
bit
then
more
I'll
would
call the
be
lady
service
back.
to the
They
original.
made
A
it
recent
sound
poll
like someone.
conducted. Ooh, a
That was a
poll
different card I thought I lost. I had two cartoons to different
by
jobs.
Redfield
Okay.
Consultant Strategies
That's
on
what
behalf
the
of
So you're not dealing with the one I gave you
No,
today.
no, I can give you
Happy
that
to
one
update
back.
it.
Oh, I don't need it.
Contact
Let's
Disney.
open.
All right, I
Line
just
with-
you know,
oh, there it
I'm
is.
trying to figure out how to use it so I can spend my money.
Although the
understand.
Yeah, I'm
majority
so
of respondents wish Disney would
See,
create
direct
new
deposit, rapid pay
stories
card. Yep.
rather
Yeah,
than
okay, this
remake their
one?
archive.
Well,
Of course.
it's not the card number. It's an account number that was on the envelope.
course.
Oh, and I
However, fans are unhappy with the idea of modernizing Bambi,
or something.
which was released in
I gave it to you. I gave you the
1942.
card.
Was
Okay,
one of
okay,
Disney's
I'm
fifth
sorry.
It's
feature
okay.
length
So,
animation.
but I have a
Quote,
copy of it.
Okay.
That's why I make a
exactly
copy
how
of
to
them.
modernize
Print it
something
out
that
for
took
you.
place in the middle of a forest, wrote
I'm just trying to
JW
think.
cartoonist
I understand.
on X,
I
associated
on
with it.
X,
My
formerly Twitter.
car is in.
There was
I
nothing
read
about
it at
Bambi's
gas
original
and water
story
in my life.
that screamed that was
That's
made
why
in the
okay.
40s.
Okay.
Quote, Bambi is
remember
literally
I
a
did.
universally understood story, posted the
Yeah,
ad
it was. I
noted.
couldn't.
It's a
physically
coming-of-age
do it.
tale told with animals in a timeless forest, full of moments of joy, loss, danger, and love. All facets of not only the human experience, but life itself. There is zero need to modernize it. What we're really going to see, where the rubber's going to
Now, let
meet
me
the
send them.
road,
Get
is
a
with
pay stub for you too.
Oh, okay,
Snow
thank you.
White.
I'm
You'll
just
know.
trying to
This
know
is-
the money. That's all.
Yeah,
I need the money
2.6
now.
box office
How many hours is
is
that?
going to
I
be
don't remember.
what tells us
Let me take a look where you're at.
essentially
Yeah, continue.
if people are actually going to fight back against this crap. From what I could tell in the box office, Little Mermaid got close to breaking
Yeah,
even.
2.5 hours. That's
Yeah.
exactly
It
what
may
you
have
said.
lost a little bit of money. It certainly didn't look like
They
it
hardly
certainly
took
didn't
any. I mean,
make
because
a
it was
ton
such
of
a
money.
small amount. They hardly
I
they
think
took like
that, you know,
$2 or
Little
Right.
Mermaid, if I
That's
look
right.
it up,
Well, I'm printing it to you.
I think
sorry.
it probably broke even 570 million.
the moment that I
probably
talked to
lost
made it
money.
sound like there was zero balance.
It should be.
Yeah, it doesn't look.
Yeah, that's what
I
I
don't know.
Where it was sent to. It was sent to this account
It probably
for this account.
Okay.
lost a
And
little bit of
that's
money.
the amount that you should.
That's what I'm gonna guess.
30.
32, 32.
The Little Mermaid live
Okay,
action.
I'm like
Here,
glasses.
we
I
talked
took
about,
out my glasses.
No worries.
updated September
All right,
7th.
thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Yes,
I thought, you know,
money.
this car was confused.
With a $250
I get
million
it.
production cost
So
and a
just
reported
put this in the
140
fridge rather than-
million.
Yeah, if you're not using it, yeah, we're not
Little
going to.
Mermaid
All right.
under
And it was
most
the day when
generous
I was
projections
walking,
needs to gross
and I happened,
approximately
to find it, and I
million
thought it was
at the
another.
worldwide
I looked
box
like the
office
office work.
to
I
break
thought, you know what I
even.
mean? I was literally confused.
So it broke even. Do you think that our corporate overlords care? Do you think that they think a $570 million investment breaking even is good? Do you think they're happy with that? I don't think so. I think they're probably pretty upset by it. So hopefully we've reached because there have been some modern remakes that made a ton of money. Pretty sure The Lion King did. I'm pretty sure, was it Aladdin? That made a bunch of money. So, Beauty and the Beast, I think, did really good. So now we have, culturally, people have kind of had enough of it. So now we had The Little Mermaid, which essentially breaking even on a $570 million investment is losing.
Anyway, thank you. On the next one. I thought the job
And it'll be interesting. They'll
probably
work in an anti-2A argument.
Nothing. That's why I only lasted 2.5. I don't get my
see,
first
Slim
break
agreed
until
writing,
what time?
It's a
And
film
this
that is
injured
legitimately
kid
timeless and
is
can't be
talking like
modernized because
that.
there's nothing about it that's been made irrelevant or
I'm
outdated.
sorry, and it's
Quote,
labor intensive.
dragging out
Could you at
classics from
least?
the
I told
grave
you,
and putting
you're
shiny
told that
new
during
colors
our
on it is
orientation.
so
Yeah, but I'm just telling you what I
disrespectful to
did.
their legacy.
Okay,
Commented
I'm
Manny
just sorry,
Artist.
that's
You
it.
meant
I mean, most
you meant
folks
to be a
don't have an
creative company.
issue.
Stop rehashing and go
Yep.
create.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry your
Other live
experience
action
wasn't that
remakes
good.
such as Little Mermaid and the upcoming
Okay,
Snow White.
well,
Some
tell you what,
use
you're
the studio
trespassed from this
go
building now.
broke by modernizing the
all
original
right.
story. They'll make the hunter evil white man. Bambi's
Really?
mom will be a message about incel rage, and Bambi will also be black. I mean, it's on the board as a possibility. I can't wait for the powerful scene when Bambi and Thumper learn a TikTok dance, posted Brooksy C. Fontaine. In an interview with Collider, Beer expressed her admiration for the original film, describing it as a beautiful love story. Poem, sorry. I do think there's an entire generation of children who have never seen the original.
Sorry.
It's very different to say Little Mermaid or Aladdin and the 90s heyday films that were definitely already seen. I can't tell you how many kids I've seen who've never seen Bambi, which is such a shame. Well, tell them to go watch the original. Beer said in the original animation is a different tempo to what modern audiences are accustomed to, highlighting the scene where Bambi's mom is begged by a hunter. There's a treatment of the
Yeah, I
mom
don't quite
passing
understand
that I
all
think
the
some
choices that
parents
they
these
put on
days
those
are more
anymore.
sensitive about than they were in the
That's
past.
just
And I think
gender.
that's one of the reasons they haven't shown it to
Veteran or
kids.
non-veteran?
What? What? Disney has released a bunch of politically correct live actions.
It's asking if you have
about
any
Halle
disabilities.
Bailey, the original cartoon. I mean, former Disney screenwriter behind Bambi remake calls for a scene in which the famous deer's mother passes away to be scrapped because it's too triggering for parents and children.
Yeah, you got to put slashes between the dates.
That's kind of the point. That's kind of the point. I mean, are you kidding me? You see Disney's move to modernize Bambi remake sparks outrage. While light on the details on how she would, quote, modernize Bambi to make it more relatable. I said it.
Okay, so I'm going to bring you up down. I'm going to load some forms for you to fill
She
out.
would modernize Bambi to make it more relatable to kids today. She said that she's looking at how the film dealt with the passing of Bambi's mother. Not to spoil the plot, but we're going to change this. Disney's also come under fire for recent updates to animated classics, including the casting of a black actress, Halle Bailey, to play Ariel in live-action remake of The Little Mermaid. I mean, until these movies start losing money, there's really nothing you can say. Another question. I wonder what this means, modernized retelling. Are they going to change Bambi into be a moose? How exactly do you modernize something that took place in the middle of a forest? I mean, I don't really know. Anderson's plan to update Bambi set of another deluge of criticism.
One second. I got to answer this.
All I can say is to
impact employment norms
is to stay steadfast and stop paying money to see this garbage, which I think you're already doing out there. I mean, The Little Mermaid essentially was a disaster. In a long line of disasters for Disney, when they had, had like, I don't know, 10 out of the last 12 movies that they've put out have lost money.
What shift were you interested in?
Hundreds of millions of dollars each. So, I mean, all I can say is to stay
Can you
steadfast.
come by, either tomorrow or
Disney's
Wednesday?
upcoming modern remake
just
of
update your
Animated
info?
Classic already has us worried. Well, yeah. And if people just
Wednesday, 1
stop
o'clock.
going, people stop paying to buy the merch.
Yep.
People stop.
Make
paying
sure you
for
bring
the
your
stuff,
up-to-date ID and stuff. They're going to
they'll-
make us
they'll stop that.
redo
These
that.
businesses are in business to make money.
No problem.
So stay strong. If you enjoyed the video, please do, if you're enjoying this, please do follow or subscribe down below. I know you might have to create an account, which is a pain, but I would greatly, greatly appreciate it. It's wild to me that these people don't learn, but at the same time, I mean, look at Disney stock. Down 20% in the last 6 months, 17% in the last year.
What do you have? Do you have anything close?
Disney Plus is not doing well for them.
Oh, I have white speakers, but
Yeah, can't have anything with buttons in it because the buttons
Reason
can
why it's
fall
going
off.
directly to Disney Plus.
I mean, just a
there were
plain,
some rumors about
in a
that.
plain T-shirt until you get
The
started. 'Cause I
reason
don't know.
that rumor
how to
kind
do
of
it.
caught on is because
So what you're going to do
you
now?
have
Let
to
me make sure it's
release
ready.
a whole different pile of
Go to the
cash to
forms.
actually
Just make
market
sure the
it.
login is ready. Oh,
By the way, if you're
this is-
watching the stream and you're enjoying it, I'm really glad to see so many of you here. I stream every day from 12 to 2.
Okay.
Roughly.
Click on employee login.
And I hope
Log
you're
back
enjoying
in
the show.
using
If
the
you
user
enjoyed the
ID
show,
password you
couple
created.
of things real quick. Create a Rumble account, download the app, get involved in the chat. We have a lot of fun in the chat. We've got custom emojis, emoticons, all this kind of stuff. If you're watching, maybe show the new viewer some of those. We've got 4,500 people watching on a Monday afternoon. I mean, this is probably our biggest Monday ever. And I'm really,
that's
really
perfect.
thankful that I assume you're enjoying it because
I didn't even play
we're
the high
doing
stick
well
speaker.
with the
So just
the
want you to
midday
set up a
streams.
couple
I mean,
security
4,500,
questions there.
I probably have one of the toughest time slots, like lunch.
Oh, your
hour.
username.
And I'm very happy that you're here.
The website's on the back of
If
your
the button
handbook there.
underneath here is green. Underneath
You don't have to
of
do
it,
that whole
it says follow.
Aviante Go
Please do
stuff.
click that follow button. And if you enjoy the stream, over the past couple weeks, I've been promoting the locals page, which we're going to do members only streams at least once a month. There's a join button right here, and then you can click support, and then you can go right into mobile. I think that there is a option. It's $5 a month, but it goes a mile. And I have 2 promo codes. Support, if you're going to do the monthly, you get 1 month, your first month free. It's a good option for you to try it with support free speech 1 promo code. Oh, it expired. I may have to re-enable it. Let me check. Let me check on the promo codes. Promo codes.
Okay, click on e-documents.
I don't know if I can
And click that green button there. It says
or if I can
Wizard.
change that. Hold on a second. They expired. No. All right. Well, I'll just do another one. How about that?
Start going through these.
I'm going to re-enable it. Support. I'm going to call it support free speech 2. All right. Support free speech 2. I'm going to start it today and end it at the end of the week. So you get that, apply it, Boom. Okay, so there, your first month is free. And then annual. I'm going to create an annual one. Support free speech 3. Annual. What is it? Give you 3 months free on the annual. I just want to get as many people to join as possible. Support free speech 3. I think. Wait a second. Annual 1 month. I think. Oh, wait. No, I can just edit those. I I didn't see that. Support free speech 1. There we go. I'll just extend it. I'll extend the other ones. There we go. I can just do that. Support free speech and support free speech 1. There we go. It would be really neat if you joined. Save changes. Okay. We've got more news. How
Okay.
is everyone's
Up here where it says other names, N/A,
in here?
also for apartment number. Ito.
How's everyone's weekend? How was everyone's week?
And then, yep, check that. Just go down here. Check that box there where it says employee signature.
Doobie doobie doo.
Then, okay. Yep.
Doobie doo. I'm going through the stories.
In the first box, in that gray box.
Set. I don't think I care about Hassan. I don't think I care about
Yep.
Sam Bankman.
And then go to the bottom, click next.
He owns the government, so of course he's not going to get any kind of. I went to the Renaissance Festival. Nice. I always go to our Renaissance Fair 2 or 3 times a year. Great weather, chilling with the family. Yeah, in Wisconsin, it was like extremely good. Like Wisconsin was like, I went to a fall fest. It was very, very good. Very nice weather. Live action Bambi season started Saturday. Nice. Fire 2 blasts. I always wanted to go apple picking, but are there like a ton of bees? Yeah, it's 80 degrees north of Chicago. Yeah. I might go swimming today. It's not like ideal swimming weather, but it's probably the last kind of chance I have to swim. So there aren't bees. Okay.
Okay, so this is the federal one. Do you claim anyone besides yourself? Yet? Okay. So there, and then you down here for every
when my new PC
child
from Meta
dependent,
comes in,
it's
should I get
2,000
Baldur's
here,
Gate
and for
3
every
or finally get
adult
Cyberpunk?
dependent, it's 500 here. It's automatically has you already there. So
I don't know. They're both probably pretty good. Now, many of you who've been following me or, have been on my streams, my daily live stream show on Rumble from 12 to 2.
this is not what you're telling them to take.
Videos.
This
You know that
this
I've
is
kind of
exempting
gone
you
from
by that
like
amount.
an Elon Musk fanboy to being more.
That's it. Go
Critical
down there
of
and
him.
click
And I think that
step 5, click the
for the
box.
most part, this is not decisions that he's made with Twitter. It's not decisions that he's made with. I'm sorry.
All the way to the bottom,
Tesla
past the
or
worksheet.
SpaceX, even though I've been critical of Starlink.
And then next.
It's really his decision making on Twitter, and it's not like exactly necessarily.
Don't worry about license number. Are you new? Say yes. And then you just put today's date. And 2.
He lied about having it support free speech. He went out and hired
number 6, including yourself, and with what you put to the federal, you'll put a 3.
Shill.
Yeah.
To run his.
And then you sign it in box 9.
This is why a lot of people think that Elon's, controlled. Elon will say something based and true and cool, and then he'll go do something totally stupid. For example, like allow continued shadow bans and censorship on Twitter, and then tweet out.
Okay, the ones that say pending review, it just means I have to do my portion of them. So you're good.
Butthurt that Russell Brand supported.
Now, let's see. Now, what did you want to do for pay?
Twitter. And having a little melty about
it. You have CashApp. Is that you want to use? All right.
And
all right. What I'm going to do is I'm going to send you an email.
Linda
It'll have
just
2
had
links in it. One of them will be for your insurance. The other one will be for your direct deposit. Now, if you aren't able to get it put in there, doing it through that, we can do it manually later.
Numbers or what users will pay. Also, what's interesting is Twitter.
Or if you can pull it up now, I can punch it in for you.
CEO Linda Yaccarino has now confirmed it.
What I'll do is I'll email it from you
to
me. That way I'll have a hard copy.
Elon saying, "Oh, it's
well, the Cash App. Yeah, let me show you. Once you get the app open,
I can tell you as somebody who uses Twitter /X to control, to talk to my viewers. I'm more and more interested in just doing it on locals now. Twitter has been completely ruined by monetization, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about just unfollowing everybody and starting fresh, because it's like every stupid post is like, "Oh, would you ride a roller coaster with Elon Musk? What do you think down below?" Or here's a big, beautiful, busty woman. She shows up on your date and she's carrying.
I want you to sign it.
Like, I just can't. I can't with this. Every major Twitter account that used to actually be interesting is now just desperate for cash and selling out all credibility for a couple $100 a month. Yaccarino is off to a tough start as she fumbled questions about the platform that seemed undermined by Elon Musk while on stage at Code Conference in California. Formerly at NBC Universal, advertising executive Yaccarino was appointed in May to one of the toughest CEO jobs right now, reporting to Elon Musk. The interview with CNBC's Julia Boorstin was an opportunity for Yaccarino to set out her vision for X, which has had a difficult year under Musk's ownership, while advertisers fleeing the platform, a questionable rebrand, and multiple tech and safety issues. What actually followed was the unfurling of a CEO who appeared not to have a full handle on the company. At times, the interview was awkward and tense. Here's one bizarre exchange when Was Musk serious about charging all users a fee to use X? Boorstin asked. Musk announced the plans in a live stream on September 18th.
With her?
Yaccarino paused for a couple of seconds,
but I don't fuck with that.
Then asked Boorstin to
start acting out like that. I mean, obviously, she's confused on how to make that.
Say we were moving towards specifically that, or that he was.
She was like that on the phone with me earlier, and she's like, "Well, I'm coming by." I said, "No." I told her, "No, I have 3 people I'm doing interviews with."
We talk about everything.
She shows up anyway.
Said, while failing to answer that question. Elsewhere, Yaccarino claimed that
the customer service through them is very good.
Fled the platform after Musk's
she was telling them something wrong or something
in the last 12 weeks alone, and that user time since June was up. She said that the firm was close to turning a profit, which is actually amazing. I would honestly say that, like, if you got the company profitable,
payday's always Friday, but with the Cash App or something like that, a lot of times just miraculous. But don't ever call me on Thursdays. Yeah, I didn't get paid. I usually get unless it's sorry, it's on Friday. Just because there's really nothing I can do.
Blue-chip brands, including Coca-Cola, AT&T, and others, have cut ad spend on Twitter by up to 100% in the first half of 2023. Insiders Laura O'Reilly and Kylie Hayes reported in August, citing data from
Tuesday.
Others chopped ad spend up to 30 to 70%. Asked about X's daily active user numbers,
second shift.
Bruno appeared to
all right.
respond.
Do you know where the building is?
According to The Verge and the Wall Street Journal, at
back
one
of that
point,
form there,
she said X now has 200 to
very
250 million active daily users, something like that. Yaccarino said. Elsewhere, she claimed that it was 540 million active users.
Telegram.
Audience members, including Ben Bergman,
You said Wednesday?
the occasionally
Yeah,
bizarre
of
tone
course.
of the exec's others' response on serious topics such as platform safety.
Right. Let me make sure.
Everybody deserves to speak their opinion. Linda X says after being asked about the ADL complaints about anti-Semitism, she then looks at her
I'm
watch.
just gonna
and says she
manually
has
put
to
it in
catch a
just in
flight.
case it doesn't
You
come.
literally
It still
can't make
hasn't
this
come
up.
yet.
The interview is perhaps unlikely to challenge perceptions that Yaccarino is CEO in name only, something Borson raised, noting that X's product team reports to Musk much in the same way Meta's product team reports to Zuck. He runs technology. He leads a team of exceptionally talented engineers, responded Yaccarino. I don't care what the structure is at Meta. Who wouldn't want Elon sitting by their side running product?
I would be doing from
Her
30
response
to
drew
30.
laughter, and insiders Bergman
3:30,
a
yeah,
few audience
3:30.
members
Yep.
raised their hands. Running up the litany of missteps was Yaccarino's response to the guest who had directly
I would
preceded her on
say
stage.
Tuesday, but
William Roth, the former head of trust and safety at Twitter, who was publicly ridiculed by Musk. Roth was billed
Like I
as
said, I want you to
surprise
do it
guest,
when you're ready.
and audience members tweeted his appearance appeared to catch Yaccarino off guard. Asked to respond to Roth's criticism of the platform, specifically his claim that hate speech has worsened on X, Yaccarino said, Yoel and I don't know each other. He doesn't know me. I don't know him. I work at X. He worked at Twitter. A Code Conference co-founder and veteran journalist Kara Swisher said Yaccarino had known Roth would appear and when no one was sandbagged.
All right. All set.
I mean, it's
Do I
not
show-
great.
okay, one more
Twitter X is losing
Do I show up
daily
there
active users.
before-
Cindy, CEO
I'd be there about
Yaccarino
15 minutes early the
confirms
first day.
Okay.
Just let them know. They're going to know you're
By now
coming.
you've heard
I'm going to email them, let them know the
Elon
day
Musk
before.
handpicked CEO
Okay.
from
All right. If you have any
X,
questions or anything,
Yaccarino
just
and
shoot a
execs
text to the
CEO
office number here, and I'd be glad to
enforced
answer you as soon as I
Fox Media's Code 2020.
put out whatever fire I'm
Others
fighting at that time.
Amid
All right.
some of the more viral moments.
Yeah, have
of
a good one,
discussion,
man.
Yaccarino dropped some more previously unknown facts that don't exactly paint a rosy picture for the company.
Hey, Kong.
Speaking of Vox's Media Code 2023,
Yeah, that was a hell of an
this week,
interaction.
X's
wasn't it?
Linda Yaccarino
Transaction.
shared that the company currently had 225 million daily active users, a decline in
She
tens
was
of
tweaking
millions,
the whole time. She
or
was here. I wish
11.6% of users from
I
just
should have had my
before
body
when
cam
Musk
on.
acquired the company. What's interesting is, to be totally
she was
honest,
tweaking the whole time. She was
I
there.
think they just dipped out
That's why she
completely.
needed some money.
Like, I think they must have just dipped completely because they didn't go to Threads. That app's dead. So I think they just quit. Following the conference, X revised its daily active user count to 245 million daily active users, according to the information, before specifically saying that X had 225 million active users. Yaccarino previously said at 200 to 250 million. Even X's revised numbers of 245 million would still see X lose millions. around
Sorry, I'm
3.7%
Midwest. You're probably not
daily
here
active
anymore.
users from before Musk's
And we've had some
acquisition.
fucking
Well, that I
bullshit
would
happen.
buy.
We lost internet. We lost.
3 or 4 million. That's something that
Who's still here?
I would probably buy.
I want to play Russell.
I don't really know exactly what's going down
This should almost be done.
at Twitter, but it sure would be
Yeah, he's
nice
almost done.
to like have some
We'll
consistency.
put Russell
in
on after this.
decision-making and have
I need some
actual
Russell in my
commitment
life.
to free speech.
Probably already lost Anna.
You see, in fact, daily active users are even down from the numbers that Musk shared last year when he was in charge. According to the aforementioned Musk tweet, Twitter had 259.4 million users at that time. That means X has shed nearly 15 million users, or 5.6%. Twitter first started sharing this metric when the company referred to as monetizable daily active users, or MDAO, years before Musk even planned to buy the company. Twitter's daily active users were reliably more favorable for the company than its other metrics when it shared quarterly reports
Anna's
for
gone.
investors and shareholders. Ultimately,
Another quartering will do that to her.
This
It
whole
looks like it almost did it to you
X
too.
CEO says platform will be profitable by early 2024, but dodges question about a monthly fee. I think the monthly fee thing.
I don't think he's
is
against.
absolutely
He's not
moronic.
actually. He interviewed one
unless
of the
there
biggest
is a
OnlyFans people on there. I
much
mean, he has
larger
nothing against it. He
version,
just.
if there's a
I mean,
much larger uptake in.
I'm sorry if I'm sending my kid to
a
school.
much larger uptake in.
And her
Twitter Blue
teacher's
than
doing
I
that.
know, but
I may
don't
have
think
issues
so.
with
I
it.
think it's a pretty small percent. The fact that Yaccarino even showed up to speak at this is weird to me. you pretty much know you're in
but he
enemy
thinks
territory there the entire
and for
time.
good reason. He thinks that
So it'll be interesting
it's
to
not
see.
even a real story. He
I
thinks
think
it's
the time is
really
now probably
OnlyFans
for Elon to fire the CEO.
blasting this
I think
as
that
advertisement.
if he really wants to prove that he cares about free speech and protecting it, then you really can't be involved with Yaccarino, and you can't be desperate for advertisers either. You can't be desperate to, be seeking advertisers constantly either, because they're the ones that actually institute these levels of censorship. Oh boy, Rumble's down. Yeah. Cool. I'll give it a minute to come back here.
Good. Rumble really down? Oh no, I stepped away. We did like I do. So yeah, that was a different interaction, wasn't it? Idiots. Busy as fuck today. Hello. Anybody can do that, but the thing is, yeah, anybody can do that, and just it's silly. Can you see who did it? Yeah, it's somebody by the name of I have pulled up shit. Did you know when they did it? 13 days ago.
Are we back?
So
Is it that Randy Cole or that woman?
Are we back?
I'm thinking. Let me see who it does.
Why does this always go down during my stream?
Okay.
Rumble went down there for a little bit.
speaking with AJ about the
I've
Wi-Fi?
got some terrible news.
Yeah, I already did. I already sent him what I want him to go out and buy.
If you feel it's terrible, well, you might want to leave a like on this.
Well,
because it's truly sad.
It'll be temporary because we need to use what we're using, the same stuff that we're
really
using
bad
for
news
the
coming
whole
down the
building.
pipeline for the
It'll be a
woke
week.
ideological writers.
Yeah,
in
so this is
Hollywood.
gonna get. I'll once he gets them, and I'll just swing out there after my
I'm
afternoon
sure you're
gig and
probably sad to hear this,
hit that before I
but
go home. So
writers
it shouldn't
like
take long
on
to set
shows
up.
like She-Hulk and all these
what else
now,
are they posting?
since the
what else,
strike was
so what they
concluded,
post? Anything
it
with that
turns
view,
out
that image? They post anything with that image, or it's
that
just
Yeah, Julie Cooper
they
is the
may
name of
have
the person.
gotten a little more than they bargained.
I don't know.
This an article.
She didn't do a review or anything. She just
Hollywood
took two pictures. I mean,
screenwriters
obviously
and
negative.
diversity hires
I mean,
will be out
you're
of jobs
doing construction. I
under
mean, it's
the
not even
new
like that. It's not like that
Writers
stuff
Guild
is sitting out in
Award.
front of the building.
Screenwriter script doctor recently asserted that woke
Yeah.
diversity hires will
I mean, it
be
was
out of
obviously
jobs
trying to
under
be
the
negative,
minted
but-
deal that the Writers Guild of America signed with
Yeah, I already
students.
did. I already did. Oh wait,
Okay,
okay,
take a
they did
moment
too a
to-
review too.
just a
Oh no,
moment
this was at a
to
different place.
Leave a like on the video.
Navarre,
to
Ohio.
feel
Impersonal
sorry.
stuff. Okay, this was some law firm that she
Having an
reviewed.
appearance on
All
Midnight's
right.
Edge
So can you just
in the morning.
Yeah, I already
Thoughts,
reported them
quote,
as not
he
representative
was
of
asked
the
by the
business,
show's
so
host,
they should
Andre,
pull them down.
quote,
And
"Will
the
there
thing
be
is, when
less
people
jobs
do
for
that
writers
too many
now
times to a
when you have
Google
a
listings, they
guaranteed
won't. They
writers'
can't
room?"
post pictures anymore.
He wrote, "Well, this is one of the things
Yep,
I
no
didn't
worries.
like in regards to the guaranteed writers' room because you have compelled hiring. It looks like a certain members in the union on the negotiating committee have turned that inside out a little bit for the benefit of writers that know how to finish scripts and maybe not push too much ideology in there. Don't get me wrong, there's definitely some veteran writers out there that are drinking the Kool-Aid, but the vast majority of them, the ones that do preach, are younger. I've been learning through my colleagues that there are a lot of them have actually spent more time striking and spending time on social media than actually expanding their portfolio of scripts to pitch once the strike is over. I mean, I think that's not surprising to me at all. Like, not in the slightest, that they've been spending time tweeting online rather than actually, worrying about their career, because this is a big moment for them, a big amount of clout for them to get. You end up with a lot of these woke writers that they don't really care. They don't really care about the work or putting out any kind of quality. I mean, if it were true and they did care, we probably wouldn't have seen She-Hulk twerking. After briefly comparing himself to his colleagues, he continued, quote, "So basically, what we are seeing here from the youngins is that there's going to be possibly less opportunities for them to, especially in something that is pre-greenlit or mini rooms. And that comes down to two factors that I can think of. Quote, the first one is the current NBA clearly defines that a showrunner has to be a union writer," he said. "So it can't be an internal executive producer like Kevin Feige. It also gives them a bit more power in who they select for the writing positions in the minimum staffing mini rooms. And it also says that whoever they select has to be approved by the company or showrunner has to argue for them to be involved. Now, with regards to those rooms, you have showrunners that would only, a real showrunner, a good showrunner, is only going to hire writers that they are going to get value out of in the room, which means that if you are a diversity hire and that's all you've got going on, you're of no value to the showrunner, which means you're not going to get your guaranteed hire over there. I think that's a good thing," the script doctor elaborated. Well, yeah, I mean, I think that, ultimately, I think that you end up with a scenario here where you've got to trim the fat. This is what happens when you are slowly to get replaced, is that you end up having to do more with less. And I think that's something that we see all the time in manufacturing and in any real career, including writing. For a second point, he detailed the other aspect with regard to the contract pertaining to mini rooms. These are mini writer rooms. Is the compelled hiring has now increased the compelled hiring and the extended time frame for which they have to work on the show, which is like the minimum of 10 weeks. He explained that essentially turns the mini room into something way more expensive than the traditional model of developing a pilot, producing the pilot to be screened before an audience test to see whether or not it's actually going to be any good, and then giving it the green light to go to an actual series order. The mini room basically tries to force a hit show within 6 episodes or 8 episodes or 10 episode structure. Get it all written before any of it's filmed and then push it out there. You could take a look at a pilot like Ahsoka and say to yourself, okay, that's a show that was done in a mini room. It was done by one director, one writer, Dave Filoni, and you put that through pilot tests, and there's no way it would have been picked up for the remainder of the episodes, and that's a good thing. You don't want that. So right now, it looks like mini rooms are kind of being, for the moment, they'll be the kind of priced out of the budget side of things from studios because of more lucrative and less risk from the for them to actually go back to filming a pilot, testing it, and then determining whether or not to give a series an order. So essentially, he asserted when you have these type of orders and you have the showrunner being in charge of it, picking the writers they want to work with and being able to argue why they need it for the benefit of the show, you basically exclude any of the writers in town that aren't going to be of value of you. I think everybody listening and gentlemen on the panel know that who these type of writers are. They're not going to be lasting in the industry because they're just not qualified. And I think it would be great. It would be great to have that there's less jobs for them because it gives me a better chance of having more job opportunities. So essentially you have a writer, a script writer, come out and say, yeah, well, there's going to be a lot less opportunities and a lot more pressure on writers in Hollywood. Therefore, this is good. It's a good thing for me because it gives me more opportunities to actually, get out there and get a job. But what it does mean is all these woke diversity hires aren't going to have an option because they're not going to be in the room because they're not going to get picked. He then responded to a comment from Andre who stated, let's face it, a big part of the problem that we've had, especially with the MCU as of late, isn't just the producers behind the scenes have gone nuts. It's that the writers' rooms are staffed with incompetents and general assorted activists, many of whom would be these younglings, if you will, that come in not through merit, but through other means and produce a bunch of BS. The script doctor replied, if it's not through merit, they've done something that's made them hot in the moment, and you've basically have the studios clamoring at them to work for them writing. They overbook themselves, overstretch themselves, and they end up being terrible because they've signed 9 deals that are all due over the next year and a half or 2 to turn in. Trying to write 9 feature films in 2 years is really difficult and thing to do, especially if they're going to maintain any kind of quality. On top of that, you're putting them out there, you're getting notes back, you've got to go back and forth, you're dividing a lot of your time. He noted, this is a big red flag. I've pointed out, especially with Dave Callahan. He's written Wonder Woman 1984, Zombieland 2, Mortal Kombat, and Shang-Chi. These 4 movies alone came out within a year of each other. All were terrible, but he was the hot ticket item. He was the hot ticket writer for these studios. Yeah, I mean, I think ultimately what he's saying here is that, it's not going to eradicate all the woke nonsense, but it's going to create a lot less opportunity for it. He went on to recognize that the New Deal will not eradicate all the woke scriptwriters from Hollywood, at least not immediately. A number of members on the current WGA board that were expecting to lead.
Yeah, I mean, that's just going to be a temporary thing because I'm going to have to actually get some of the actual.
However, they are probably also prominent enough in the industry to get a show here and there. So there will be, of course, hiring for that. So you can most likely have these type of shows peppered throughout, but still for a little bit.
That's kind of like that's what we're using. Kind of like
Here's
what we're
another part
using
too,
in
because the new residual metric, the more
the
money
housing,
you get comes based on the fact that you have to obtain 20% of the subscriber viewership or more in order for you to make the most amount of money. So if you care about making money as a writer, that means now you have to make a good show. So they're actually like,
oh, do you know what happened to that one?
Putting together a quality show.
Kelly's old office,
which could be, good for viewers.
Got one that got disconnected.
I don't know how many writers care about money though. You look at a lot of these people who, in the industry, in the comic book industry, for example, half of the people in the comic book industry, I see them begging for money and GoFundMe stuff on Twitter and not writing books.
Yeah, it's just appreciating. I mean, because I'm going to actually use that on that side too, and I'm not going to order
financially motivated.
the permanent ones
but
until
I,
I know if that one's gone or not.
I would
Because
hope-
gone, I'm not to order two.
You said deadlines. Nelly Andreeva also reported that a number of our anonymous sources
All right.
informed her
And
that
if they don't have the
less
exact
for
ones in
writers.
stock, just give me a call.
She
and
wrote,
I'll
accelerated
what I'm looking
contraction.
for.
more
Basically, it's
competition,
just it's
real
something that
budgets,
will just
fewer overall
they're
deals,
like
and possibly
high-end
more
extenders.
cancellations are some of the things
Basically.
industry sources
Because
are preparing for.
I
One
did
source informed
was
her,
able to
quote,
switch
"No
over.
one
You know,
is
all
buying.
everything on that
This
side
is
is
the
hard
worst
line.
marketplace that I've ever
It's a hard line.
experienced." An
Yeah,
anonymous writer
and,
also informed her across
unfortunately,
the
because I'm
board,
walking around, I was like,
what I've heard
okay,
from
let me see
buyers
where
is
I'm
that
going to
they
put
are
them. I'm like, well,
buying
there's no
less
A
and
piece in
making
here.
less.
Shit.
Another
So
anonymous studio
the
exec
bathroom
stated,
there that they
strike just
paint
sped up the
that
inevitable
was the
pullback.
office
I suspect
before.
everyone will be doing less.
I put
Essentially,
one in.
all
I
these,
put
like,
one of them in
free
there.
roll woke
My
garbage
actual
shows,
in there. So at
they're
least
not going to
at
get
the
made
big TV,
anymore. There's
I
no
did get
money.
connected, but by the
The
time
industry's
'cause it's
been
all the way
losing
up
money,
in
and they're
front of
finally
it,
just
it
going to
doesn't
say, "All
really
right,
wanna
well,
reach the TVs.
that's it. We have to focus on
I'm
stuff
going to
people
need
are actually going to watch."
the mesh system to bounce off.
Imagine that, listening to their customers. Fat Jimmy says, woke leftist docs
Okay.
my X-Truth and Gab accounts. I don't give a crap about leftist creators, writers.
Okay,
But
that's
I almost
fine.
got fired this morning.
And like I said, once wireless
complaints,
is up and
which
running,
of
it's
them
you know
stood
it's
up for me.
the wiring that is over there. I mean, I'm sure
not
a lot of it's like covered on.
Oh,
some
which
of the plates and
platform?
stuff like that, so I'll be able to find it.
I'm not sure what that question is. But that does suck.
No worries.
I mean, I think that
Bye.
Gab is pretty
Yep,
good.
bye. Yep, bye.
Probably not X. So I've got now pretty good long show today. There's a lot to talk about.
Right. Yeah, too long. According to Dirty Dog.
I want to get to doing my standalone videos.
let's find some Russell.
I do 5 standalone videos on Rumble in addition. So make sure you click that follow button down below.
There we go. All right, we're back. It's fucking shit.
Safety laws.
All right, we got to get caught back up.
Under the online.
You freeze again? Oh. Okay. Why is that only 20-something minutes longer? Oh.
We're going to regulate big food, or a publisher of information they don't like is all.
I'm sorry.
Good people go to jail too. Good people, bad people.
You shut up.
Is that how you talk to someone? Is that all officers supposed to talk to someone?
Yeah, we're here doing a custodial search on you.
Welcome back to the Lackluster channel. In 2019, Roland and his stepson were attempting to repair a customer's car that had become disabled in the church parking lot where she was employed at. The security guard at the church, unaware of the arrangement, had called 911 instead of making contact with the man and asking questions. And soon, officers Krista McCabe and Cameron Paralot of the Huntsville Police Department arrived on scene.
Good. How are y'all doing?
I'm 36, I'm 4, 20. How you doing?
What are y'all doing?
I'm second description. Huh?
What are y'all doing?
Get in the car. 36, it's
Is this your car?
3 drive all day. One of my customers. 1867.
One of your customers?
Oh, tell. Yeah. I was over here earlier.
Whose car is that?
That's mine.
The black one?
Yeah.
She's gonna get mad because they're not paying her any attention. I can tell how this is gonna go already. 2019. That's how old this is. Ugh. Come on, Dale.
All right. Take a break from me real fast, and y'all have driver's license or IDs on you?
I ain't gonna submit to no ID. Listen, you call me right now. Listen, I ain't got time for this. Hold word. I don't mean to be rude or nothing.
Okay, no, you do need to give me your ID or driver's license.
Listen, I don't want you to run me and for nothing.
Are you refusing to give me your ID or driver's license?
You call this lady on this
Step
car.
over that one.
Come on, man. See y'all. Here's y'all playing.
You're playing right now. We don't got time for this. We really don't got time for this.
Man, y'all don't understand.
Wow.
You don't understand the law.
I do. I got three officers. Y'all know.
Turn the other way.
Got pushed my left arm up in there. Whew.
I didn't get you off down there.
I got to go. Hey, twist to my left when I've asked you, sir.
All right, I'm gonna undo your cuffs.
Yeah.
And you twist your wrist around.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm gonna give you my ID. I have my.
Hey, man. Will you go stand in front of my car for me?
Come on, give me my ID. Man.
No, we'll get your ID.
Keep the wrist like that.
All right.
All right.
They're good. They're good now.
No, look.
They're good right now. They're not too tight.
Okay. You're under arrest for obstruction.
I didn't do nothing.
All right. So if you resist any further, you will also get charged with resisting arrest. You understand?
Listen, I'll give you my ID. I'll tell you what's going on. This is ridiculous. I'm trying to get a customer's car here. I'm in a rush. My shop's unlocked over on Governor's Drive right now. Yeah. Do you want my ID?
Where's your ID?
It's in the car, I'm sure. I thought it was in my pocket. Y'all down in my pocket for no reason. I said my ID is in my car. Go over and walk in and get my car.
Okay, well, he's still going to check your pocket because I don't know what's in there, all right? And you're not going to get placed in my car without knowing what's in your pocket. Now 47 code one.
You shut up. Is that how you talk to someone? Is that all officers supposed to talk to someone?
Yeah,
like this?
we're here doing a custodial search on you.
I didn't do anything. What y'all need to do is call Ms. Noel Patel right there in this office right here and hand me the key.
I already explained to you, all right?
I mean, I am such a rush. How long has it been, man? I've been trying to get up and get this car all day. And then there it is. Okay. Look at it.
3821 Crane Drive.
That's it right there.
Is that all his pocket? I think she's having problems with her
change. I got change and stuff like that.
Come to the 1020. Come on.
This ain't necessary.
It is necessary.
The problem is Roland hasn't broken the law, and an officer has no authority to demand a person's papers without suspicion that criminal activity was afoot. Unfortunately, the law enforcement officers have little to no understanding of the law that they are hired to enforce, and tell Roland that he is obstructing an investigation by refusing to give his identification.
Called obstruction.
Listen, I didn't do anything. Please listen.
I've already told him that he's under arrest.
This is ridiculous, man. You know what I'm saying? I didn't do a crime, but she's trying to arrest somebody for not doing a crime. She's trying to arrest me for obstruction. For what? I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Huh? That's what I'm saying.
Sit down.
Listen, please listen.
Sit down.
That's what I'm saying, man. I got my shop unlocked over there. I'm trying to confide. Man, please listen to me.
Sit down.
Man, please listen.
No, you don't want to listen to us.
I'm trying to explain to you. I'm trying to explain.
Hey.
Okay, once again, just have a seat right there for me, okay?
I'm not under arrest.
No, I just need your ID. Thank you. Okay, so, all right, he is going to jail. All right, yes. Okay, well, that sucks. I mean, good people go to jail too. Good people, bad people, if they break the law, they go to jail. All right? I asked him multiple times for his ID or driver's license. Did I not? Yep. Okay. Then he refused. I asked him again if he was sure that he was refusing to give it to me. He confirmed that he was refusing to give it to me, and at that point, he is obstructing an investigation, and he is going to jail. All right? I'm out here because I got a call stating that vehicle, okay, is an employee here, and you guys were inside the car and you're not supposed to be inside the car, okay? And that's fine, all right, but I'm still here making sure that you're not doing anything illegal. But it took me now, how long have I been out here? Like 5, 6, 7-ish minutes, okay? I'm just now getting to tell you why I'm here because of his action. All right, I'm just now getting to explain what I'm investigating because he deterred me from doing that. All right.
That's his floor. The body shop from Governor's shelf station, auto collision. He owns that. I've been with him. Look, I just own a business too, and paint business. He's a stepfather, my mom's husband. This car is at the body shop all day, man. This car is what's been here all day. He came over here to get it fixed. I mean, I swear to you, my father just passed away. You know, he'd like to follow me. Can I show you my business card? I mean, I have no weapon but a knife on me if you want to get it. You know.
Why did you
I'm sorry. Officer McCabe now goes to the church to speak with the 911 caller.
1070, reckless drivers. Hi. Okay, so whose car is it that is an
It's
employee?
Miss Dola. She works here.
Which
at the
car is
daycare.
it that's hers?
The red one.
Okay, is she here?
No, ma'am. They've already went home for the day.
Okay, well, what's her last name?
I'm not sure.
Is it Perez, maybe? Does anybody know what it is?
Because I'm just a security guard, and all I seen was them jacking up a car. Miss Dola, do you know her last name by chance? I don't know if it's in there.
Man, y'all have a bunch of goodies.
Yeah.
I just got some Taco Bell, and now I'm out here. Apparently, he has his own body shop, and he's over here picking it up to bring to his body shop to fix it.
Yeah,
Actually,
after she's already arrested
give
somebody.
me his identification.
Oh.
So that's why he's going to jail. I mean, it may be completely legit that he is out here just picking up the car and it's with her consent. But when he tells me no, that he's not giving me his identification to identify who he is, then that's in trouble.
They'll let him know you got something wrong.
Yeah.
You ain't got nothing no, he got to use my identification.
All I know is she's a teacher here.
Fucking
And
status.
she told me that was her car. And I know what car her son and her daughter drives, and that's not either one of them.
Okay.
So that's why I called it in.
Just let him know that I need to verify that these gentlemen are supposed to be picking it up. Just if he wants to know why we're here, but I'll try to get her contact information off of her tag.
Roland now gives the officer his phone, and she calls the vehicle's owner.
All right, go over to phone. Now go down to Codgel. Actually, I talked to him today. Codgel Club right there, Codgel. Codgel Sale. He's the man that owns that car, Codgel.
Your wife, though, does she drive the red Toyota Camry?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, she does.
Yeah.
This is Officer McCabe with HTD. Okay, we got a call of a man working on your wife's car, and I was out here, and I needed to verify that this man was supposed to be working on her car. All right. Okay, that's all I needed to know was that he was supposed to be working on her car. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Thank you.
They said you're going to jail for obstruction of
There's no crime committed.
There is. You refused multiple times to identify yourself.
You can argue that point in court. Now, what do you have to say? What do you need to release to your son?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Really? I mean,
okay, you have nothing else to say?
I don't know what to say.
Cool.
Sir,
Okay,
hold
cool.
on, sir. I don't know what to say.
What do you need from him? Well, obviously, he doesn't want to talk about that. He wants to talk about him being charged. So I have the keys to that car on the top of the car. You're free to go.
Somehow, neither of these unprofessional and rude officers knew the most basic part of their job, and nearly 1,000 videos on this channel show that it is an epidemic throughout departments across the US. Because of this incident, Roland was charged with obstructing governmental operations.
Future reference, like I said, if a cop asks you to identify yourself, just go in and give your ID.
You know what? Looking back.
And then when you said,
you know what? Look.
I don't need my name ran.
I didn't want my name ran.
Red flag.
The baseless charges were eventually dropped, and it is likely that the officers were never reprimanded, or maybe even think that they did the right thing, even after Roland sued the city and the two Huntsville officers for the wrongful arrest. At first, an equally uneducated federal judge at the district court granted the officers qualified immunity and dismissed the lawsuit. However, on appeal, the federal appellate judges rejected the officers' argument that they had probable cause to arrest Edgar for refusing to produce physical identification. The judges stated that Alabamians do not have to show identification when asked by the police. Edgar had not committed any crime. Therefore, the police had no basis for arresting him. Judge Wilson wrote that it has been clearly established for decades that police are free to ask any questions that they want, but the public is free to ignore them, and that neither the parties nor their own research could identify any Alabama law that generally requires the public to carry a physical physical
Yeah, it's fucking
identification,
nuts.
much less an Alabama law requiring them to produce it upon demand of a police officer. There simply is no state law foundation for Officer McCabe's demand that Mr. Edgar produce physical identification. And with that, the judges found that the officers are not entitled to qualified immunity and have sent the case back to the district court, where it is likely that Roland will be awarded a sizable settlement at the taxpayer's expense, due to indemnification, where a municipality will cover their officers even when they lose qualified immunity. The reason we think it's probable is because the city of Huntsville say that they're disappointed in this decision, showing that not only the officers, but other city officials have no respect for the constitutional rights of their constituents. So let me know what you think about all of this in the comments down below. And if you like this video, be sure to check out one of the other ones linked on screen.
That's nuts. All right, guys, we're gonna call it. You gotta go get something to eat.
I see her rolling up, Uber black Cadillac, high heel boots and a sexy body full of tats. Baby's bad, oh baby's hella bad. After her there ain't no coming back. Wanna take a run at that. I think she's feeling me, turn it up a few degrees. My imagination of her body gets the best of me. Oh gosh, she's such a tease, bitten lips, bruised knees. I'm addicted to her, need her touching me, cause she got a bad little waist. And we tearing down this place, off the liquor that we chase. Casamigos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on that tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine. Got a fine little body and her mind's kinda naughty. They say that once you taste it, you cannot replace it. She could get you high, all the dopamine inside triggers fast once she's naked. Her body's a creation. They say the devil made her for his entertainment, but even he couldn't learn how to contain it. Her high heels make a damn good statement. There is no replacement, a body by Satan. Cause she got a bad little waist, and we tearing down this place. Off the liquor that we chase, Casamigos to the face, baby, I don't need no space. Coming closer for a taste, and I'll show you how I make everything just fade away. Cause she's like sex, drugs, cocaine, body so insane. Jealous of the clothing that she wears up on her tight frame. All game, no shame, baby came here to play. I feel like an addict cause she's sex, drugs, cocaine.